He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. He's being chased to the 30. He breaks a tackle from a security guard. The 20, down the middle, the 10, the 5. He slides at the 1, and they converge on him at the goal line. Pull up your pants. Take off the bra and be a man. And the players with hands on hips at the other end of the field are looking at him and shaking their head and saying, why, oh, why is this taking place in a Super Bowl? Down 20, 5:03 to go in the field.
At gmail.com.
Welcome to the best pubcast around, Corner Pub Sports, bringing you sports, beer, and beyond. Catch the show live every Friday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Or get the show wherever you download your favorite podcasts. It's time to grab a cold one, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the pub.
This is Lauren Hart from the Philadelphia Flyers, and you're listening to Corner Pub Sports.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Corner Pub Sports.
Let that be a lesson. Never go streaking during a Super Bowl. That dude got messed up. He got messed up.
He was having the time of his life, man. He didn't care.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but it's so worth it.
Absolutely.
Up, everybody. So those who are watching, you already see our special guest, and those who are listening, let's introduce him. It's been about a year since he's been on. He is on Fox Sports The Gambler. Mark Drummeller joins the show. What's up, Mark?
How you doing, fellas? Listen, it has been a year, hasn't it? It's like this pandemic goes fast. You know, days are slow, but the time goes fast.
It really does, man. So Mark's joining myself, Sean, Ryan, and Gary here on Corner Puff Sports. Thanks again, man. Thanks so much for joining us, dude. It's been too long. Been too long for sure. So
yeah, definitely, man. It stinks because we had all this stuff planned, and then like the pandemic comes, and it kind of everybody's kind of not knowing. Like especially in the beginning, you really didn't know what to expect from like week to week, month to month, and then things got locked down, and we knew we were in for the long haul. And then it's kind of like we're all home.
there is light at the end of the tunnel, man. Light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully, maybe by like late spring or something, we're back to semi-normal, man. Well,
get them vaccines out.
Fauci said that the whole population in the U.S. should be able to get vaccinated come April.
Yeah, I kind of heard that today. So that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Unless you're a fucking weird anti-vaxxer and, you want to have your kids die. Anyway.
That's another topic altogether. That's another podcast altogether.
It's going to be a long one.
Yeah.
Like Ben Simmons afraid to take the shot.
He's been holding on to that forever. He doesn't know jack shit about basketball, but he's been holding on for that forever.
That's pretty
Boy,
good.
did I miss Gary.
Before we get to it, what are you guys drinking? What are you guys drinking today?
Come on, you know me.
Oh, tequila and seltzer.
Damn, tequila and seltzer for
Mark. Tequila and seltzer.
Mark's got Gary, what is that?
That is Dogfish Head American Beauty Hazy Ripple IPA.
It's got a little yellow bear on it.
Yeah, it's the Grateful Dead dancing bear, brother.
I'm grateful Jerry's dead.
Together.
That's fucked up.
I got Neshannomy Creek, went local tonight. I went with Want You Bad. It's a stout with cherry and chocolate. I figured it was a good Valentine's Day beer. And I tell you what, you drink a few of these, you're fucking the fat girl at the end of the bar, man.
It doesn't take long.
No, these are strong, man. Strong beer. So let's get to it. Super Bowl is in the books. Super Bowl 55 is gone, and Tom Brady won his 7th ring. And you know what? This is perfect that Mark's on because Mark should gloat a little bit about how well he did in the Super Bowl. But you and Ryan, the two of you were with the two on the I guess the panel now that picked Tampa Bay. I thought the Chiefs were going to walk away with this thing by 10. And obviously we were wrong, and you guys cashed in on it. So actually, both of you cashed in on it. Yeah. So what the hell happened? What happened?
Well,
Go ahead, you can go, Ryan.
Yeah, going into it with the picks, I just thought the Chiefs' offensive line was in shambles, and the way that the Tampa Bay's defensive line was playing, it was just it was like a perfect mixture for the Bucs to win the game, and their defense dominated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the offensive line was key, in handicapping this game, and there was just so many things I felt that pointed to Tampa as far as like they were a team that was peaking. After they had the bye, after that Week 12 game where they played the Chiefs, they really got things together. They started peaking. They were the number one offense in the league since Week 10, and they just got better and better each week. And they had an advantage in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Their offensive line was playing great. Their defensive line was playing great. So, when you looked at that and then you looked at the fact that, hey, you know what? Like a lot of the prolific offenses that we see during our time, whether it's Jim Kelly with the K gun, right? We can go far back to that. We can go back to Peyton Manning and all his Colts teams. We can go back to the greatest show on turf. We can go back to all these teams with great offenses. They seem to struggle in the Super Bowl because the defense gets 2 weeks to prepare and throw something new at them, and then they have to adjust in game, right? And we all love Andy Reid, but Andy Reid is a Monday through Friday guy, right? He's not a Sunday coach. It's all
he's not a game day coach.
Him having to adjust on the fly, I thought was a little concerning. And then, you have the Mahomes injury. And when I looked at it as a whole, what I kept going back to is like, well, Kansas City is going to win because of Mahomes. And that was really just that Mahomes usually erases everything and it doesn't matter. And I just couldn't get behind betting that way because if it went the other way and Kansas City won despite all these factors that had me leaning towards Tampa, and I bet Kansas City and they ended up losing, I don't know if I could live with myself being like everything pointed in one direction and I just said Mahomes erase everything and, he wasn't able to. And I think we saw that, it kind of like played out that, it's tough for these offenses when a team's just built on offense and they're up against a great defense and they have 2 weeks to prepare. It makes a world of difference, I think. And I think that's why you see some of these offenses struggle in the Super Bowl.
I think that's point. Yeah, very sound point. And it's the truth. I mean, these defenses have, like you said, 2 weeks to kind of prepare for offense like that. The thing, though, about Kansas City that just seemed different to me, I mean, they never really looked like themselves over the past few weeks until the championship game. And then all of a sudden, like, I had the Bills. I think you and I both talked about it.
I had the Bills, too.
So I thought the Bills were going to take care of that. And the Chiefs look like the Chiefs again. I'm like, damn, like, they might repeat. Like, it's hard to repeat in the NFL. It's hard to repeat in any sport.
Right.
And I saw that, and I was like, oh, shit, man. Like, I think they're going to win it again. I just, Tampa Bay did look good against Green Bay, but I kind of discounted Green Bay's defense, especially toward the end of that first half. Kind of looked at Green Bay's defense and said, you know what? Kansas City's defense is better than Green Bay's. They're going to score more than Green Bay. They have more weapons. They're going to take care of this. I was wrong, obviously. So,
I mean, getting to the show 2 years in a row is hard enough, but winning both years in a row, that's tough. It's tough. And how can you go wrong with Tom Brady?
That was another thing that like factored in my like what I was thinking. You just at this point, like you just can't go against them. You just can't.
Yeah, he's getting 2 weeks to prepare too. So that's the thing is you got a guy like Tom Brady. Like they talked, the reports were coming out. He kicked his family out of the house for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kicked them out. Just so he could focus on the game. You give that guy 2 weeks. And statistically, like I said, since week 10, they're number one offense in the NFL. So we all look at it like, hey, KC has this unstoppable offense, right? But all during the year, they're like playing with their food. They're on and off. They're trying, are they not trying? We're just going to flip on the light switch. But KC getting better and better and better. I just had more confidence in them, like showing up in this game and playing with more urgency. And, I felt like the game meant more to Tampa Bay, as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, this was one you could tell that Brady won it. Like but like not that he didn't want to win every other one that he's been to, but this one was like you could tell it was more of a personal thing to kind of stick it up the Patriots' ass.
Yeah, you could tell when he was walking off that boat, he wanted to win.
Yeah, he was hammered.
And I tell you what, that was a parade. First of all, that was a cool way to do the parade. Going down the boat, on the boats and stuff. But if anyone didn't see the footage, look it up. Brady was trashed. But then he tossed the trophy from his boat to Gronk's boat. Right? I think it was Gronk's boat, but
Cameron Brate caught
it. Yeah, man, that was, and you could see like he wasn't lking too hot, man. He turned to the camera, he's like,
could you imagine if it would have landed in the river? Like, oh my god.
Awesome.
Or what's his name lost his phone, right? Godwin lost his phone. Scotty Miller dropped Godwin's phone in the river.
Oh god.
They were all lit, man. They were lit, dude. It was a party, man. And
it was like it was like us, like after the show, like when I go to take that post show piss, I'm like, god damn, it was Brady. Like, man,
you're like the dude from Nerds. Like you're just there for like an hour.
But good for him going to another team and getting another ring, man. Like that.
He might get an eighth one next year.
Yeah, the only way to stop him is to trade him at Dallas.
I know, I saw that. That is very funny. But it's looking at next year. It's hard to repeat. You know what I mean? And they're going to be able to bring a lot of guys back, but it is hard to repeat. There's a reason for the Super Bowl hangover. It's tough to repeat, and you're going to have a very motivated Patrick Mahomes, a different Mahomes that we saw this year. This year, they didn't play with a lot of urgency. They're kind of playing around with a lot of teams. You know, now they're going to be as motivated as ever because that couldn't have felt well. I mean, they got boat raced.
There was a lot of games the Chiefs through the season that the Chiefs just didn't seem like the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're a tough team to figure out. I mean, last year I made a ton of money at them towards the regular season. They were covering every single week. They covered like the last 9 weeks. And then when they got the playoffs, I bet against them like all 3 times, like all the way through. Like I bet against them against Houston. I'm sitting there partying, doing shots, 20-0. Yeah, we got this. It ends up being like 51-31. And then I bet against them against Tennessee. They win that. I bet against them in the Super Bowl. I thought I had it last year in the Super Bowl. And then the 49ers, let them out, let them go at the end. And then this year, they were so unpredictable. It was so tough because you're like, when is this team going to play? When are they going to be motivated? And I even got them wrong in the playoffs both times this year leading up to this game. I had them to blow out Cleveland. That didn't happen. The Mahomes injury, I think, was the key factor there. He had the concussion. And then I had Buffalo, in the AFC Championship. And, so it took me a while to get this Mahomes, but I finally got him. Super Bowl.
Yeah. Lesson learned, Mark, stay away from the fucking Chiefs.
I know. I did. They were a tough team to figure out, man. They gave me fits. So it was even more scary for me, in the Super Bowl. I had a ton at stake. I had a plus 2,500 futures ticket for Tampa Bay. And then I still put a pretty significant, position on Tampa Bay to win the game. But I was just like, I didn't want to end my season that way. Like, is this, you both sides, right? You bet Tampa Bay and you're like, oh, the whole world bet the Chiefs and I got it wrong. I'm an idiot. Or, you go on an island like I did, you take Tampa Bay and then, you just hope it pays off. But it was nice. It was nice to get the victory to seal off the season.
That's funny because when I put the bet in, the dude I put the bet in, he was like, "You really want Tampa?"
Yeah, I know.
I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, I'll put it in."
It was a lot of money. You saw some Tampa money come in later in the week, but especially early, it was like 80-20 KC. Like everybody was coming in on Kansas City, and I think that was just a reaction to how they rolled right through Buffalo.
Yeah, I think. The last 3 weeks, I put, 12 bets in, I guess.
Yeah.
Not one. I didn't hit on one.
No?
What are the chances of that?
You didn't hit on any of them?
Nope.
I put one.
Dude, even the goddamn coin toss I lost. I couldn't even win that. I lost air. I'm like, you know what? This is why I don't fucking.
Yeah, I know. It can get frustrating, man. And I had the same thing, like this season, I think I started off pretty good, but we got it was I want to say October, like mid-October maybe. Like I went on like a 4-week spot where like everything I was doing was wrong. And I was just like, this is brutal. Like, what am I doing wrong? And it really I had to take a step back. I took it was probably 2 weeks where I stopped bringing in information. Like I wasn't listening to podcasts. I wasn't doing anything because I just felt like I was kind of overloaded and taking in too much info and kind of confusing myself, you know what I mean? And doubting my process. So, you go through those things, you go through your ups and downs.
So, the fans get another title, Tampa Bay. And, they've had quite a few titles over the last year. They could have had more. Didn't work out that way, but I gotta be honest. I can't stand that. I think that Florida being a transplant, the only place that's worse is LA. It's the only place that's worse. The fact that Tampa gets to do it. What is it? City of what?
City of chip bags.
Oh, LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck them City Angels. They're a bunch of chip bags.
Yeah. So Tampa is like second on my list. Like Florida shouldn't have a hockey team. Miami basically bought their titles. When
it don't get cold in your state, you don't get a fucking hockey team. Like what the fuck?
And here they are. They don't even play a winter sport when it's 75 and sunny out, right? Football. And the first home team to play in their home stadium wins it, and all the transplants and 90-year-old retirees come out and celebrate it with Tom Brady. It's just it irritates me, and yet. Although I got to be honest, I'm pretty sick of this fan base too. Here in Philly,
yeah, I think you can find your pros and cons everywhere.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
that is true. I hear that too. Sounds like fucking Bigfoot.
The fuck is that?
No, that's the kids, man. Sorry.
Oh, it's you?
Yeah, the kids are jumping around upstairs.
All right.
That's
like
funny.
it is what it is. We just didn't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah. At first, I was like, "Oh, is that them? They can hear that?" And then it's like, "I guess Bigfoot." Yeah. So
that's funny. But like, I don't know. Like, am I wrong there? Like, would LA first, Tampa Bay second? Like the fans that don't deserve to have these kind of celebrations. Personally, I don't know. Maybe I'm off.
I feel you because at the minute that these teams suck, like nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's the same thing with the New Orleans Saints.
No, I mean the fans
nobody in New Orleans cares when the Saints suck.
The fans in Florida, everybody in Florida is from up north.
Yeah, they're like fans that have been there and bled and fucking shedded tears with this team. They don't give a fuck. It's a party. Right. That's all it is. It's a party to them.
Right.
Fucking shoobies.
The fuck's a shoobie?
It's like an old.
That's what they say on the shore, right?
You got it, Mark.
That's exactly what that is. Well, one of the members on Tampa Bay is LaShawn McCoy, and LaShawn McCoy is a Kansas City Chief last year. Obviously, a former Eagle. He has now gone back-to-back on Super Bowl titles. He has two to his name now.
Then play one.
If he called it a career, I think he'd be number 39 all-time in all-purpose yards. And as far as running backs go, I think he's like 15th.
I'm going to look up his stats.
15,001 yards all-purpose. Is he a Hall of Famer? Does he go in the Hall of Fame? That's.
I mean, that's a thin line. I could go either way. Me personally, I don't think he makes the cut.
He also has he has 11,000 rushing yards. He's got 73 rushing touchdowns.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah, he might get in the Hall.
How many receptions and catches do you have right there? No?
This just came. Hold on, give me a second.
I mean, he was an all-purpose back. I mean, we forget because he's been out of Philly for so long. 7 years now. I guess he's been out. Chip Kelly, a chip bag. So we forget. I mean, the fact that we traded him and he's played for another 7 years, and he's probably done now. I mean, he didn't play a snap, right? Like the last 2 years, he didn't play a snap in the Super Bowl.
No.
So I mean, what else can you ask for? You got 2 rings to go to your name. I mean, retire down Florida like everybody else and enjoy another Tampa Bay Super Bowl next year. Watch.
Yeah, I mean, great football player, had a great career, right? As far as Hall of Fame, I really past caring. They want to let him in. Go ahead, give him a jacket, do whatever you want to do. It's like the prom. You want to make him prom king, everyone vote on the same guy, go ahead. I really, that stuff doesn't move me. You can't really compare errors either. And that's the thing is when you get into these Hall of Fame discussions, it's like, well, this guy had these stats. Well, you know what? The rules are completely different now. So it doesn't, you can't even really, make any sense of it. So let everyone in. It's all about money anyway. So, whatever.
Yeah, it's the buddy system.
Yeah.
And the thing that got me when I looked at the list and I looked at some of the names ahead of him for all-purpose yards, because that's what everyone kept basing on, all-purpose yards. I looked at some of those. I'm like, Well, Ted Ginn isn't going to be a Hall of Famer. This guy's
Right.
I forget some of the other names. I'm like, nah, so I'm not going to go by that. What was it? How many yards? How many rushing?
11,000 rushing.
73 rushing touchdowns. That's not something to sneeze at. I mean, that's pretty decent, man. He has a shot, but
he's got 518 career receptions, and he's got 22 receiving touchdowns. He's got almost 100 career touchdowns.
He has a shot.
He's borderline Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's
whatever.
He's borderline a lot of things.
Yeah.
He's also he's a borderline kid beater. He's a borderline wife beater.
I don't care about him beating his kids. He ruined Avengers Endgame.
Yes, he did, the cocksucker.
You know, that's what got it for me. That's when I was done with him. I burned that motherfucker's jersey after that. No, I'm kidding.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the hot topic here in Philly before Mark has to roll. But because I think this is going to be a hot topic. We kind of not the store kids. We kind of hit on it a little bit on Sunday. We did a special Super Bowl preview show, and because the rumors about Carson Wentz were really getting hot, and it was Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen and all these guys coming out and saying he's going to be traded in the next couple of days. Well, here, lo and behold, here we are on Friday, still a Philadelphia Eagle. I don't know where we want to start with this.
I'll start.
All right, go ahead.
These people think that Carson Wentz is going to command 2 first-round picks. No, the guy doesn't. He doesn't command. He's lucky. They're lucky if he commands 1 first-round pick. But at the trade, they are not getting 2 first rounds for him. Just not going to happen.
How does he not command 1 first-round pick?
I didn't say he don't. I said it's possible he commands 1.
Yeah, that seems to be the sticking point. Is for everything that I've heard recently is that the deals on the table are for 2 twos. They can't get a 1 involved in any of these deals. Initially, there were the reports. A lot of people called to check in, but there's a difference between like calling and checking in and kind of making an offer. And I think a lot of teams call in just to try and gauge the market. Like, okay, Stafford went for this price. So what's Wentz going to go for in case I want to go after a different quarterback? I kind of know what to offer, when I make that call. And I think that a lot of that was because as we've seen it settle down, there's really not a lot of interest in Wentz. The Colts are obviously interested. The Bears are obviously interested. They say there's some mystery teams out there. But none of them are really stepping up with a really formidable offer. And I think, that's the challenge is when you have a player coming off the season that he's come off of and someone who's regressed the past 3 years, the market's not going to be high on him because the way the salary cap's set up, if you're going to pay a 1, you're going to do it on a quarterback and, granted you're taking more of a risk. But if you draft a quarterback, is it really that much more of a risk than trying to rebuild somebody who's been regressing for 3 years?
It's also cheaper if you draft one.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's cheaper. Well, it's much cheaper in the salary cap. So that's the thing is, and now some of these teams that are better might not be in position to go up and get a first round pick. And I think that's why you wouldn't see them offer like any more than a 1 because if a team like the Colts they're not going to offer 2 1s because again, they could probably get into the top 10 with 2 1s and, draft a quarterback that they can build around, that they can have, under, with the cheap cap for the 5-year window and all that. So I think that that's kind of part of it is that I think there are a lot of teams that would probably take a shot on Wentz if he was like released, but they're not going to give significant capital for a quarterback who's been regressing, the past couple of years.
Right. He hasn't he hasn't proven that he's the franchise.
Correct.
Like he's had a solid year, a few good years, but he's not proven that he's the guy. Let's build around him. Mm-hmm. Let's do everything we can to get this guy if they're willing to trade him. He just hasn't proven that.
And there's the fact that they let it get to this point, they didn't do themselves any favors because now everything's out, right? All the locker room stuff is out now that like he kept to a real close circle and people he trusted and really wasn't the leader, was never really able to kind of be the leader in the locker room. The inability to be coached, like all that stuff has come out. So they really haven't done themselves a lot of favors with the way they've handled it.
Do you believe that stuff, Mark? Do you think he's really that much of a distraction in the coaching rooms like that's come out where he is kind of looking at the tape going, nah, because that was the one report that he makes excuses all the time.
Yeah.
I see that guy because that was going to happen in this. Do you think he's like that?
I do. I do in a sense. Now, it could be a little bit overblown. Like it's all in perception, right? But I do think that there is a challenge. There's been enough smoke to where there is a challenge with him kind of taking accountability and understanding that he has to play a different way. Me personally, when I've watched Wentz throughout his career, obviously very excited in 2017, before the injury. But after the injury, I thought 2018 he played really poorly. I know that there are stats like you can throw touchdown to interception ratio that are going to say you played well, but I mean Gardner Minshew in half the year threw 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. No one's saying he's elite. Like you're not allowed to cover anybody, so like touchdown interceptions is not a great gauge. But I thought he struggled, and I thought he struggled even more in 2019, and then the way it was for me is that in those years, 2018 and 2019, I just thought that the offense looked very difficult when he was in there. Like it was almost like it wasn't in sync, right? And then we saw in 2018, the end, Foles comes in after he hurts his back, and the offense looks a lot more fluid. They put up like 30-something points against the Rams. They put up 30-something points against the Houston defense. They had one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. They were putting up points that the offense just seemed more fluid. And it always seems clunky and difficult when Wentz is in there. And then in 2019, I was very down on him throughout the duration of the season. And then I felt better as the year went on because it seemed like, when we got the, quote unquote, practice squad players in there, he was more inept to play within the offense.
Which was weird. Which made
not do a lot of hero ball. And I felt that Peterson finally got through to him and said, hey, listen, you got to trust the offense. You got to trust the system. You got to do what we're asking. So I was hoping that would continue into this year, but you could tell very early on that wasn't going to be the case.
So it's these reports come out, and I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm like, man, comes from a small school. No one told him no. He had the athletic ability, and he comes in here. The shit that I can't stand is people calling him racist and all that. I'm like.
Yeah, he's not.
That's another thing because that goes with the locker room stuff that's coming out. I'm like, he's playing in the NFL. He's playing football, which is a sport that's 70% African American.
Yeah.
He's getting racist.
Like him and Fletcher Cox go hunting all the time. Like I don't think the guy is racist at all. But I do think that
Jordan Matthews probably his best friends. My best friend's black. I know.
Yeah, you get that. Yeah.
Jordan Matthews and here are really good friends. Like, come on, man, he's not. Get the fuck out of here with that.
No, but I do think that it is. If you look at his circle, like I think some of the things that we've seen that we've kind of made fun of over the years because they were funny, right? We had the team doing the prayer circle with Carson Wentz, and then there's Nelly in the back dancing, and he's not involved. You know what I mean? And I think that when we see those things, we see how close Carson Wentz is with Zach Ertz and players who kind of share his, religious beliefs, right? That, maybe he does wall off a certain portion of the team, or just maybe kind of is hyper focused on those people he identifies with closer. And I think that, that might cause a rift. But, I felt like there were kind of leaks even in 2017 about how, he got in a fight with Sproles and he had the issues with Alshon and veterans just trying to kind of help him. He wasn't really inept to, what they were telling him. And even if you read between the lines, some of the things Frank Reich said when he left, he would try to pull back on it, but he would say, he's really hard to kind of get him to play the way that you're asking him to play. And then he'd say stuff like, well, it's only because he's so dedicated and he has so much juice. And like they do that with quarterbacks that they like is they'll let the cat out of the bag and then they'll try and reposition it to where it's not that bad, Like that's the thing is like Brett Favre could throw 16 interceptions in a game and it's because he's a gunslinger. You know what I mean? Like it's not that he can't read defenses and then clips come out later after he retires and he's asking people what a nickel defense is, right? But nobody accuses him of not being smart enough to play quarterback in the NFL like they do some other quarterbacks. So it's I think there's a little bit of that, but I do think that as far as like him being coachable, this stuff wouldn't come out if there wasn't some truth to it. Is it overblown? I'm sure in some circumstances it is, right? Whenever hearsay gets involved, it is. But I think it's a situation where he feels like he knows best. And, I don't think he is, very coachable. It doesn't mean that he's not, you can't, it's like impossible to kind of get him out of that with the right coach. But I think that's difficult when you're that way and it's not working and you kind of refuse to change. I think that sends a certain message to the team.
Do you think they go ahead with Jalen? Or you know what? Better question. Do you think Jalen Hurts is the guy?
No, I do not. Can they coach him up to be the guy? Sure. Like anything's possible, but there is not a lot of data that points to that being successful. If you look at the quarterbacks that are really successful in the league, they're first round picks and they were graded as first round picks. Even Derek Carr, who we could probably have a conversation about, or whether you consider him elite or not. He's, his numbers are very efficient in Gruden's offense, but he's a guy.
He's efficient. I think that's the perfect.
He's not elite. He's a good quarterback, though.
Right. Now, he was drafted, I think, in the top of the second round, but he's a guy that a lot of teams had a first round grade on, right? But if you look at all the quarterbacks, Breeze, Rodgers, you have your Dak Prescotts and your Kirk Cousins, which are the outliers, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo, but the majority of the quarterbacks that are successful are first round picks. Russell Wilson, is another outlier, but they're usually graded as first round people. And if Russell Wilson was a couple inches higher, or the league was a little bit more, not so stubborn, he would have had a first round grade as well. But Jalen Hurts is a guy that I don't think any team had a first round grade on. And the scary part to me is like Howie Roseman comes out now and says that it's almost like he's trying to redo the Russell Wilson thing. And that's really concerning because he passed on Russell Wilson when they drafted Nick Foles, and he's been kicking himself since, and he sees some of the same leadership qualities in Jalen Hurts. So he's almost trying to redo that pick and recreate history, which is just an awful way to approach anything to begin with.
That don't work in the NFL.
It was the same.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The Eagles got lucky and won the Super Bowl, but it was the same thing why they hired Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I think
they hired Doug Peterson because they wanted to recapture the Andy Reid magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think, Jalen Hurts has an outstanding attitude. It seems like players love him. Very hardworking, very easily coachable. All those things are great.
Nice kid.
But, yeah. But there's a lot of players that are that way that just aren't good enough to be elite players in the NFL at the quarterback position. Can he get there? It's possible. There are outliers. But again, do you want to invest in an outlier? Same thing with Wentz. Everyone says, well, if Wentz gets the right coaching like Kyle Shanahan, then he might be an MVP again. And that's good. And that's true. And it's possible, no one's saying Carson Wentz can't be a good quarterback in the league with the right coaching, but there's a lot of data that suggests that people that perform the way Carson has over the past couple of years don't turn into elite quarterbacks. So are you going to invest in the outlier? And that's it's the same thing with both players.
A lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
I just think I'm at the point now, I was expecting, by the time we did the show on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting this Eagles team to look completely different by today. With all the reports that came out, yep. Yeah, and with all the reports that came out, I'm like, how often is Shefty wrong? How often is Chris Mortensen wrong? And then all of a sudden, things cooled down. And I don't think the Colts were. I think the Colts may have been a team that had a little bit of interest, but I don't think the Colts were really gung ho about giving up a first round pick for him and all this stuff because of what we were talking about earlier. Frank Reich did work with Carson Wentz, but people automatically make that connection. Go, oh, he wants him back. Frank Reich knows how Carson Wentz is, and if Carson Wentz is kind of a problem in the locker room, Frank Reich's going, nah, I'm going to go another direction.
But the fact that's just proving things. The fact that the Colts aren't, oh my God, he's available. Let's get him. The Colts need a quarterback, and the Colts are pretty much close to ready to win. They need a quarterback.
They have an elite defense. They have a really, really good defense.
So if the Colts aren't jumping on this, it's a bad sign, man.
He is what he is, and I think that's kind of the situation that we're in. I think teams are willing to take a risk on them for the right price. You know what I mean? Again, are you going to invest in the outlier? That's the same position the Eagles are in. The Colts are in, and these other teams that are in it. I think where this trade process kind of went wrong is that a bunch of people called Howie. He had a bunch of leaks, told everybody he wants 2 first round picks, and all these people are involved. And then I think the teams that are involved, the Bears and the Colts, realize these other teams aren't involved. So, I'm not going to up my offer. I don't think I have to. And number one, from the Colts perspective, I don't think the Colts are willing to kind of give up a first round pick. The Bears, maybe, if they feel like they have to, but I think they're playing hardball, and in the negotiations stating that hey, listen, we have the best offer. If we stand pat, we don't believe anybody's going to leapfrog us, so you're going to have to do business with us. And if you don't, and we have to go a different direction, there are other options, right? It's not like Carson Wentz is the end-all be-all for any of these teams.
But leave it to
Like you're not getting astronomical offers. Why should I jeopardize my team's draft picks, my team's future on an unproven quarterback? And I like Carson Wentz, but right now he's unproven. He's just not proven.
That's why I think Chicago isn't a bad pick because or a bad fit because 20th pick. Look, 20th pick is worth something, obviously, but it's not like a top 10 pick. It's not a top 15. But 20th picks that's where things start getting a little hairy. Are you going to get a really good quarterback at the 20th pick? I don't know, but so do we need a quarterback? Do we just take our chances with Carson Wentz and just say goodbye to that pick? That's why I think that might make a little sense for Chicago if they're willing to do that.
But if it really don't work out with Carson Wentz, it could destroy your franchise.
They could give up a ton for him, but I think that the fit with Chicago does make some sense because they do have DeFilippo, right? Who Wentz might not be thrilled to work with again, but
he just got promoted.
He got the best out of him, right? And some of the things that Nagy does offensively with bootlegs and rollouts, and he'll probably use Wentz a lot how he tried to use Trubisky. But again, you have to look at it. And I don't mean this in a negative way to Wentz, but how much of an upgrade does Chicago feel like Trubisky is the Wentz? Is it worth a number one pick to kind of make that jump? Ultimately, I think Chicago wanted to be very aggressive and they want to kind of get one of the top quarterbacks, but it doesn't seem like they're going to have enough ammunition to get Deshaun Watson. And it doesn't seem like, they were able to get Matthew Stafford because they didn't want to trade him within the division. So I think they had plans to go out and make a splash in the market. They called the Raiders about Derek Carr. They were told that he wasn't on, they're trying to push Mariota instead. They're like, we want to keep Carr. So now these teams kind of get into a point of where if they don't go the route of drafting a quarterback, they're going to end up with a veteran quarterback who might not be that much of an upgrade from the young quarterback that they had. So it doesn't really make sense to kind of invest a lot of assets.
But I was going to say, I saw a tweet, I guess, from a Chicago reporter. It was pretty funny. He goes, the Bears are the team that will pass on Watson to take Trubisky, and when Watson's available, to pass on Watson again to take Wentz.
Yeah. And that's kind of, it's funny, but it's they're in a tough spot because, number one, I think that team needs much more than a quarterback, right? Even if you bring Carson Wentz in there, and if Carson Wentz, DeFilippo is able to get the best of him, right? Both Trubisky and Foles got murdered behind that offensive line this year. They have no running game. They haven't had a running game since Double Doink, right? Whatever year that was the last time they had a running game.
2018.
Yeah, the kicker is probably still a mess, right, over there. So they have a lot of problems. And the defense fell apart last year. The secondary was awful in the second half of the season. So Wentz isn't going to solve all their problems. So I think that they're kind of in a tough position because at 20, as you brought up, what I think is an awesome point, you're not going to get one of the top four quarterbacks. Your four quarterbacks are Lawrence, Fields, Wilson, and Lance, and they're going to be gone by 20.
Yeah, and that's why I think that. If I'm Chicago, it to me it might be, and I'm not just saying this just to be biased. I think that's worth the risk for Chicago. I really do. Although, like you just said, though, they have other holes they need to get filled.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
And with that, I mean, do they want to give up a 20th pick where they can draft an offensive tackle, or where they can draft a defensive player? There's so many other things they can use instead. But they also need without a quarterback, forget it.
Yeah, well, the GM's under a lot of pressure because he passed on Watson and passed on Mahomes and passed on those guys for Trubisky. So he's still trying to dig himself. He has to get a quarterback to make everybody forget about that so he doesn't get fired at the end of the year, to be honest with you. If they don't get a quarterback this year and they're not successful, they don't move forward, they don't have an answer, he might not be around the following year. So I wouldn't be surprised if, any deal that they do involves future ones, because it doesn't matter to him. He's not going to be there if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. It's true.
So where's this end, Mark? Where do you think what happens here?
I think he lands with Chicago, to be honest with you, because I don't think the Colts really need to do the deal. And I don't think their willingness to do the deal is as much as people think. And I think Howie is in a position to where he's selling this guy for pennies on the dollar compared to what he paid. And he has to take the best return. I don't think he's in a position to where he can say, listen, Carson, we want to do good by you. We know you want to be with Frank. We're going to send you to Indianapolis. He's got to take the best deal. And that's why he's holding out to this point. And I think Chicago, when I look at Ryan Pace and you look at Chris Ballard's one of the most conservative is the wrong word, but, he's not going to overpay. And, he's a very good GM because of how conscious he is of the cap and his spending and his assets and his draft picks. They've done a phenomenal job in the draft. So I don't think he's going to budge. I think that he's just okay with they can bring in another quarterback, develop another quarterback.
It's not Brissett.
If they have to.
It's Brissett.
Where Brissett's still there, yeah. And he has to think, too, is, and I brought this up in talking about, Frank Reich because, he's labeled as this like quarterback fixer now. He'll come in and fix Wentz and he can do all that stuff. But when, Andrew Luck retired, not last year, but the year before, they went into the season with Brissett and he was raving about Brissett. They gave him a contract extension before the season started. Right. He said that this is a guy who's going to be the future of our franchise. And Brissett struggled with a lot of the same things that Wentz struggled. Mental processing on the field, delivering the ball late, not being able to deliver it in timing, kind of staring down his receivers. A lot of the same issues that you see with Wentz. And they weren't able to help him at all. Like their solution was, we're just going to put you on the bench and pay a lot of money for Phillip Rivers. And
that efficiency rating that you sent me, it was Wentz and Brissett, like in the 30s.
Pretty close.
France, they were right there, one in 33, 30.
Yeah, 32 and 33. Yeah. But so it's. He's one of these fringe starter guys, which I think a lot of the guys that we're talking about fall in that range. Wentz, Trubisky, Brissett, Darnold, all those guys. And I think Wentz is probably the best of the bunch. But is he that much better that he's going to command so much more in the market? I'm not sure.
That's a big question. You don't know.
Yeah. I think he has the highest upside. But, some people argue Darnold does, but I think he has the highest upside. But we're in year 6 now, right? This is, we're talking about, year 6. Like you got at some point, like 2017 was a long time ago. Fry Festival was like a influencer destination in 2017. like that's how long ago it was. Like Ja Rule was like, setting up Caribbean vacations with tents. It was a long time ago, man. So like, to think that we're just going to snap our fingers and go back to then, I don't think that's the case.
It's become a concern. Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Like if he's going to be special, we've had the conversation over and over and over. I don't think it's all in Wentz, though. I do think in a different atmosphere, he will be better. I blame the Eagles for this. The Eagles completely fucked this up. They drafted him and put him on a pedestal. They didn't hold him accountable. They didn't show him how to be a professional.
They held him accountable too late.
Yeah. Didn't show him how to be a professional. All that said, like the fact that like what Foles did to him, that fucked his head up, that's a Carson Wentz problem. Drafting Jalen Hurts, that fucked his head up. That's a Carson Wentz problem.
But as far as here, Carson Wentz is done.
Yeah, but overall, I put this on the Eagles more than Wentz. I do think in a different atmosphere, you will see a different quarterback.
Well, and Mark, this is my last question for you because I know you have stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the entire what Ryan just said, and I had this written down because I want to bring this up, and this is a perfect time to bring it up.
Yeah,
winning the Super Bowl, the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, was that the worst thing that could have happened to Carson Wentz?
I think so. I think it really was. Just from the fact that he put so much pressure on himself afterwards, and he didn't respond the right way. In 2017, I think he admitted that himself. And then when he came back in 2018, I think it kind of like the situation cultivated into his weaknesses, right? So it almost like fed into his weaknesses. So he puts all this pressure on himself. He has to perform at a certain level, and then some of the bad habits that he has, like it maybe as far as like not listening to coaches and wanting things done his way and that sort of thing, thinking that he knows best, that gets ramped up because it's like he has something to prove now. You know what I mean? And instead of just being a rookie or a second-year guy, you throw in, this is your team, let's take baby steps. That immediate success, I think, did hurt his development. But ultimately, it comes down to the player. Has to have accountability. I understand it. Like he didn't get elite wide receivers, but he's all until this year. He's had a damn good offensive line. He's had great tight ends, a good running back. I'm not going to tell you that he had the best weapons in the league, but there are far a lot of other teams that had a lot of situations. A lot of people talk about the wide receiver numbers, right? Lamar Jackson won MVP, and led the NFL in passing.
Hollywood Brown was out all year.
Yeah, and he literally had like one receiver over 300 yards on that team, and he threw all those touchdowns, and his touchdown to pass rate was like second in NFL history behind Peyton Manning that year. Now he wasn't able to duplicate that success, and they need to get him some weapons. They tried to draft some, but I think that the way the Eagles' offense has been designed, like it's not. He didn't have a great wide receiver, but he's had a lot of good things that are really important. Especially the offensive line. I think we saw this year how that impacts him when he doesn't have that. Right, he doesn't have the offensive line. Then he starts getting crazy upstairs and starts running into the blitz and pivoting out and doing spins when nobody's there, right? And, all that kind of stuff manifests itself, all those bad habits, mechanics. But I think ultimately, it comes down to the player. Nobody's in New York like, oh, well, Sam Darnold was, stuck with, Adam Gase, so we should give him another turn, right? They're like, dude, get Darnold out of here. You know what I mean? Now the coach might like keep Darnold because he wants to draft the defensive player second, but I don't think anybody looks at Sam Darnold like he's this great quarterback that has been held back by Adam Gase.
Russ Wilson had Percy Harvin, right? That was his right?
Yeah,
that was his big target that year.
And he made Doug Baldwin, who was just a special teamer, like made him into a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm not a Hall of Famer, but I mean a very, very successful Pro Bowler, a very, very successful wide receiver in the league, and he kind of elevated the people around him. And I think that ultimately it falls on the player. Like I think they tried to build around him. They made some bad signings, like Deshaun Jackson obviously didn't work out. They didn't draft. But every team like. That's the issue with the draft is that nobody hits 100% of these picks. Like these picks are hard.
Yeah. Now you sound like Jeffrey Lurie though, Mark, because the Eagles haven't hit on any of them.
Right. Well, the Eagles are the exception because they haven't hit on any of them. You know what I mean? But
so that train of thought, I get what you're saying, is a little different. The Eagles haven't hit on anybody. They haven't missed a few. They haven't hit on anybody.
Oh, so they haven't developed anybody.
That you know what I mean? That the situation here, I get what you're saying. It lands on the player, but you also it lands on a player with Darnold and stuff like that. I get what you're saying, but also you've seen eliteness out of Carson Wentz. You haven't seen eliteness out of Sam Darnold. You haven't seen eliteness out of the other guys that you mentioned. So it is a little different. The situation here, number one, because the Eagles haven't developed anybody, they haven't hit on a draft pick, and you've seen what Wentz is capable of.
Yeah, we've seen what Wentz is capable of in a year where teams really don't have film on him, when he has an excellent offensive line, when he has a great running game to support him, and he has those wide receivers making plays. We've seen that for about 10 games, but the majority of his career, we haven't seen that. And we're talking about,
he's not getting back to that form here in Philadelphia. Just not.
He's not. They're not bringing him back. I mean, they can't. He doesn't want to be here. But
right, that's besides the point. I just don't think it's. At this point, it's not a mistake to trade him.
No, it's definitely not.
It is not going to work here.
Yeah,
but
it's not.
Where this went. And the way the Eagles handled it is a mistake. The Eagles had a franchise quarterback, and they fucked it up.
I agree with that.
We may not ever know what he could have been.
Right.
And right. I think that's the only thing. I'm sorry, Mark. I know you got to go. I think that's the thing that hurts of us. Pardon the pun.
It's fucking heartbreaking.
That's the thing that hurts about this whole thing is that they remember how excited we were. They moved up. They got him. We didn't know how he was going to play because I think really Mike Mayock was like the only like draft expert. It was like they absolutely killed this. Everyone else is like, let's see. And then that first year, like you saw signs, and then that second year, obviously we didn't know what happened. And what could have been, what could have been with Carson Wentz here. And
for example, just say and not to go back and recapture. Just say if Andy Reid drafted Carson Wentz, is this the Carson Wentz that you see? No,
I think so. No, probably he wouldn't regress to this manner, but I also don't think that it's probably that much far off because I truly think that a lot of Carson Wentz's issues stem from the injury, and two, him. What he has in between the ears on and off the field, what he sees when he's looking at defenses on the field, and then how he relates to his locker room, his players, off the field, and how he handles situations like, the Hurts benching. Like a lot of people, there was a lot of memes going around or a lot of, on Twitter in the Green Bay game when he got benched this year and how he came off the field and he, was screaming at who's the kid they sent to Indy and Indy now Frank Reich.
Press Beller.
Yeah, Press Taylor. So he's screaming it, and they're like, yeah, tell him this offense sucks. Yeah, look at Wentz. He's the man. He cares. And that just got him benched and shipped out of town. You know what I mean? Because that was just another example of a guy he has a great relationship with who's a coach who's trying to help him because he's out there missing receivers all over the field. He comes off the field. It's everyone else's fault. He's screaming at everybody. Like, that's not like that. The team sees that, man. Yeah. And, the offensive line is tired of, being told they're out there, busting their ass, and they're tired of being told that they're garbage because this dude can't get rid of the football. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's all. It just seems like when he was here, and this is an organizational failure. And this is again, it was always just about Carson Wentz. It was never about the team when he was in there. It was always about Carson Wentz. And what can we do to make Carson succeed? How can we make Carson better? Who do we have to draft to make Carson better? Never about the team. And I think that permeates within the team, and it stems up. Regret. We saw it in Seattle with, Russell Wilson and, earlier in his career, and we're seeing it crop up again. I mean, he goes and calls out his offensive line again. They're out there busting his ass for this dude. And he's like, oh, dude, our offensive line stinks. I get hit too much. Like, you don't want to say that in the media, you know what I mean? But I think that, I think it's a lot of it, but ultimately I think the injury was a big thing as far as you talk about like where things went wrong with Carson Wentz.
He never recovered from it. No, he never recovered from it. Never. He never mentally came back from it. Never.
I think mentally more than physically. Absolutely, 100%. It was
mentally. The problem mentally is it was obvious. If you go back and you look at film, his footwork and his mechanics, they're just awful.
Yeah,
they're just awful. Like,
but I think that's
to the right, to the left. It's just terrible.
But stuff like again, that's what where I get to that's coaching. But if he's uncoachable,
right? So kind of like to my point, Ryan is, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize, but people act like Frank Reich and John DeFilippo like spread pixie dust all over everybody and erased their memory before he left. Like if John DeFilippo and Frank Reich are working with a player every day, day in, day out, multiple times, for a year, it's not like they leave and they forget everything. Like they know what they have to do. It's up to the player to continue to get that knowledge and to carry it out and make that part of his daily routine moving forward to be a success. And, it's not like they forgot everything that Frank Reich and John DeFilippo did when they were here. You think Doug Peterson didn't know what they were doing? Like, of course they did, but he has to be willing to do that. And, that's kind of the challenges. They got rid of those guys. And I think that he kind of made up his mind and how he was going to prepare for the season and get ready. And we saw the same thing. It's not like a new Carson Wentz issue. We saw the same thing with McNabb. Like, remember he used to go to Arizona and train by himself and get fat and then come back and, because he knew better, you know what I mean?
And drink beer.
Yeah. But,
you're going to find out a lot in 2021 with Press Taylor being in Indianapolis. You're going to see if he really is a decent coach. And, wherever Carson is, you're gonna find out if it, if the same things continue with Carson, then it's obviously Carson.
Look, I mean, bottom line. I mean, with all this, and we said this on the last show. The only way this is a win for the Eagles right now with where they stand is if Jalen Hurts turns out to be a stud. If Jalen Hurts, I think this is the good comparison. If Jalen Hurts ends up becoming a Kyler Murray-esque player, that's the only way this works out for this team. Really.
Yeah. Or can they build an offense around him to where like they can succeed with him not having to be like an elite top 12 quarterback, right? Like, can they kind of, can they get him some weapons that, on the outside that they didn't get Wentz, and maybe they don't need as much on the offensive line because of his mobility and athleticism? Can they kind of put in a system? Can Sirianni put in a system that, highlights his strengths and those types of things? I think all that's going to kind of go into it. But again, like I just go back to like, it's typically guys with round one grades. You know what I mean? And if you don't have a round one grade,
you usually out.
Yeah, you're trying to get lucky.
There's too many what ifs and needs on this Eagles team for Hurts to be successful. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work.
They got a long way to go, and that's the there's no way like you might be able to get away with it for a year, and get lucky and kind of hit on some free agents and stuff, but ultimately, like you have to draft well in the NFL.
I don't think Hurts is a long-term answer. I really don't.
No, I don't either. I agree with you 100% there.
I just hope they don't use this 6th pick on fucking Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If he's better than Hurts, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? The problem is that I'm not very good at evaluating quarterbacks at that level and the jump. I thought the Tua was better than Herbert. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But I do think that they're going to have a lot of holes no matter who they pick at number 6. And, it's hard to build a team without a top quarterback to be successful.
This is a whole other topic, and we're not going to get into
a quarterback factory.
We have a couple months until the draft, but I look at it going, is Justin Fields a generational quarterback? I don't think anyone's saying that, but people are looking at these receivers going, holy fuck. Like these, playing in the NFL, and that's where I'm kind of at. Even the tight end Pitts, people are talking about him being like the next Gronk type of player. Like, man, there's a couple of things there, and they'll fuck it. The Eagles will fuck it.
It's tough because if you remember when the Lions took Ebron, it was the same story.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like all these guys look great until they play.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the challenge. And when you look at, you talk about the wide receivers, I'd probably be more comfortable with getting another corner at that spot if they're not going to go quarterback. Just because those teams, it feels like those teams that draft those wide receivers up at the top of the draft like that, a lot of times it doesn't help them. Like you can look at the teams last year that drafted wide receivers high. Dallas stunk. The Raiders, Ruggs didn't really help them. Judy, anyone worried about the Broncos. And you can just kind of go back year after year. And if you look at the history of it,
with Beckham,
there's not a lot of great stories. You know what I mean? Like, those guys typically end up on losing franchises that continue to lose because they lose in the trenches. And, last thing I want is Howie drafting an offensive lineman because we have 1,000 veterans that we overpaid on both sides of the line. But, the wide receiver it just feels Jerry Jonesy to me. Like it feels like it's not necessary. Like I'd much rather.
It's a sexy pick.
Yeah, like you can get guys late.
That's why I think they take Pitts. I'm starting to think they take Pitts at 6 because that's it. Ertz is gone. Like everyone thinks Ertz is gone, and
Sirianni love tight ends, right?
Or Surtain. I think it's gonna be Pitts or Surtain. That's what I think they're taking. But
it could be. I prefer defense. I think if you can,
I'd be all right with Surtain. I wouldn't mind
and Slay on each side.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Surtain.
Listen, man. As we saw with Tampa this year in the playoff run, like it's a lot easier to play offense when you have good field position, and you need good defense to have good field position, or you're going to be starting from the 20 every time. And that's really what it comes down to. I'm not going to say it's a defensive league because it's not, but it does matter, and if you're letting up a ton of points and, you have to drive 80 yards every time you touch the ball, you're not going to be successful, man, because it's like, if you get like, even like a penalty or a sack, your chances of scoring on that drive greatly diminish. So it's like one mistake and that drive gets killed. If you look at the stats from an analytical perspective. So, field position's huge in the league, man. And, you only get that with good defense.
know.
Me elaborating on that, Mark. Me personally, if he's there, the Eagles have not put an emphasis on this position in years. Mika Parsons at linebacker.
Yeah. 100%. 100%, dude. They act like they don't matter, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you don't think about JJ Watt?
Yeah.
He's going to play with his brother in Pittsburgh.
He is.
I think so.
Those two together, though. Ooh.
Yeah, he could go to Tampa. They'll make room for him.
I see that too. Well, Mark, let's let you go, man, because I know you were a little longer than you were expecting to. But Mark, thank you so much for being on tonight, man. And
dude. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. We got to do it again.
Absolutely. Follow Mark on Twitter, @X_Drumheller, and you can catch him on Fox Sports The Gambler. He does a great show, and Saturday, right? Saturdays at noon.
Yes. Well, Saturday mornings, we moved it to 11. So we do betting for breakfast, me and Dave. We do a stream. College football, now that college football ended, the spring league is starting up. So we're going to start talking about that. But we got plays. We'll have picks for everything, basketball, hockey, like you name it, all the way down the line. And then every Friday, 5:30, I'm on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 FM in the city, or you can get the stream on the iHeartRadio app.
Awesome. Mark, thank you so much for joining us tonight, brother.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Definitely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, man. Mark Drumheller, the man. Great dude, man. Great dude. So, we got a plethora of knowledge there, and Mark. Mark, obviously, first of all, I should have listened to Mark the last few weeks because I could have probably won a little bit of money, and instead of losing,
could have listened to me. I mean.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
give it up to Mark. He's not just a dude that comes on with like like his opinions. That he's a knowledgeable dude. He knows what he's talking about.
And you know what? He's willing to listen to your ideas. He won't argue with you. He'll just tell you why he thinks it's.
He'll argue with you a little bit. Yeah, he'll argue. Especially with that Wednesday, I was surprised that it went as smoothly as it did because I think we're all at the same point now. We're just like, just get rid of it.
I just want it done. I just want it done, man.
Like, it's a foregone conclusion.
Well, right, I mean, we all feel that way, but don't that just hurt? Don't that hurt inside?
It does. The Eagles, like Sean nailed it. I'm sorry, dude. That Sean nailed it. Like the Eagles had a franchise quarterback, and they fucked it up.
Because they babied him.
And that's what hurts so much. They had a guy they could fucking have been here for. I got the same one. Yeah.
He's a little fucking guy. You know what I mean? Little Wentz. Nah, we're putting Wentz things up to the screen for those who are listening. Man, it fucking sucks. But
actually, you should cut it, or actually, you should just put like a scarf because. Put them in fucking. Can we put like a Paxil pill on them? Tape a Paxil pill or a Xanax.
Maybe they'll draft another white quarterback and he'll wear 11. We could just do that.
Yeah, hopefully.
But it is what it is, man. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion that.
Yeah, there's no way he could play here.
One last thing about football before we move on. We got some Sixers talk. We got a lot coming up. For those, we want to thank Mark Drumheller, for jumping off the first hour of the show. We got Sixers talk. We got Through the Beers. We got some Flyers. Corner popcorn while you were drunk. But one last thing about football. So the Eagles they announced their whole coaching staff. Actually, Dave Peterson just nailed it. The whole Wentz back and forth is hurting the team as a whole.
Exactly. They look like a complete fucking joke.
It's a circus.
Yeah.
It's a circus. And it's bad. It's really
But it's okay though, because they're smarter than everybody, we'll be okay.
Well, and that's why I think the only thing, we said on the previous show we did on Sunday. That's why I think the only win in this situation is if Hurts actually becomes a great quarterback, because they're going to draft terribly. They're not going to draft well. They're not going to sign a quarterback. You need a quarterback to be successful in this league. And so if Wentz ends up being the guy, guess what? All of a sudden, if Hurts ends up being the guy,
things look different.
Right. And then all of a sudden you have a quarterback who could be your next, like I said, Kyler Murray, although he's a little more built than Kyler Murray, but the same type of guy. Dude, he can fly. That dude can fly.
Yeah.
He's got a good arm.
He's got a decent arm. Yeah.
Look him that far. I mean, if he put some stuff together, I mean, I don't think he was expecting to be a starter this year. So now that he thinks, I have a chance to start in this league, he puts some stuff together, works out hard, really learns the playbook, learns all that stuff. Although everyone's going to learn the playbook with Sirianni.
But I'll tell you what, Hurts did. He took the wide receivers and he wants to work out with them.
Yeah, he's already putting a camp together for them, like he did.
I mean,
so it's a foregone conclusion. Hurts knows he's the guy.
That's a big deal, man. If he comes out and balls out, man, guess what?
Things look differently. Like you don't feel as bad if Hurts comes out and you're like, whoa, like okay, all right.
You look at Hurts and then you look at Carson Wentz and you said, wow, we had this guy. And now we got to fall back to this guy. That's what bothers me.
Maybe what if it's not really a fallback?
Yeah, what if it's not, Garrett? What if Hurts comes in, and it's a big if, I understand that, but what if he comes in and he ends up being that guy that we all seen Carson Wentz could be?
I mean, you know me, bro. You know how I feel about the Eagles? And I'll say this. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to stick by them and vote for them. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stick by them if that's who the guy is.
Do you guys
personally? I just don't see it.
Do you guys know the answer to Dave's question there? Didn't Russell Wilson want to play for the Eagles from the get-go? I don't remember.
He did.
Did he?
He did. Yeah, he did.
I'll come there and win championships.
Yeah, he did. He told Andy Reid, draft me.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And Reid was going to. And then Seattle moved up and took him.
No, I don't remember that at all. So the last thing I want to bring up about football, so the new coach was announced for the Eagles. All the new coaches were announced for the Eagles. Jay Valhalla was the the cornerbacks coach, and he already left.
He's a whiff job, though.
But Mike, I didn't know this. Mike's our co-host, who's at his sister's wedding tonight. I didn't know this. Apparently, he's taken 4 jobs in 2 years.
Yeah,
no, not 2 years.
30 days.
It's like 21 days.
Yeah,
right.
When you put your cheesesteak and that grease drips out, he's the grease that drips out.
4 jobs in 32 days the guy's taken.
Yeah, so he's a flake. Like
Sirianni's like in his office.
So why?
What the fucking fuck? Who the fuck this?
Yeah, give me my fucking cannoli.
So he was at 3 jobs. He was at 3 jobs in 30 days, and the Eagles hired him.
Yep. What does that tell you, right?
What the fuck's that tell you?
Yeah. Dude, that's like, I mean, we all know those people who switch job from job.
I know one.
Bunch of hobos.
Yeah, I know one.
Hey, Gary. It's fucking the Eagles version have a Gary.
Yeah, the Eagles hired a version of Gary. Fuck this job. I'm out.
Howie Roseman, this one's for you.
Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you.
You better fucking nail this because there are, we got some issues here, man. We got some major fucking issues with this football team. And it's unfortunately it's up to you, and you better fucking nail it because I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's no signs that point to him being able to nail it, though. None.
I know. I agree.
The problem the Eagles have, as long as Howie Roseman's there's going to be an issue. Am I wrong?
Yep, I agree.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. I was trying to.
All right, let's move on, man.
I know. I was trying to find something. I can't find it. I was gonna make another joke about. Oh, here we go. See, I ain't it. All right. Never mind.
Stop being a fucking dinosaur and get a job.
There we go. That's the for the cornerbacks coach that left. One more time for the people in the back.
Stop being a fucking dinosaur and get a job.
And for the ham and eggers.
So
say it again for the ham and eggers.
Let's hit on the Sixers real quick because we have to. I got to be honest. I wasn't able to watch the games this week. The West Coast trip. 6 o'clock comes around pretty early. But I do want to, and this is something that Ryan and I talked about, and I don't think we give enough love. And being that it's Valentine's Day this weekend, we need to give some love to Tobias Harris.
Yes.
Yes. You guys were crucifying him.
This guy has to make the All-Star team. He's I'm not going to call him the second best player on the team, but
Right.
He's that secondary scorer that the Sixers have been looking for. Like, he is earning that max contract.
When he was playing well before, not on the Sixers, wasn't he playing under Doc Rivers?
Yes, he was.
Had his best career stretch in his career.
Look at the big brains on Gary.
Well done, Gary.
Wait a minute. I'm not a basketball fan. You guys don't think I listen, but I do.
You cocksucker! I'll punch you in the mouth.
Sorry, Gary. Fuck.
But he's averaging I think close to 22 a game. He's averaging like 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's becoming your go-to guy.
So he's the Sixers grit.
No, I wouldn't call it grit, but like he's that secondary scorer that they've been looking for since they've traded, since Embiid's been a starter.
Right.
So the combination of him and Seth Curry starting to come into it again. It looks like he's finding his stroke again after coming back from COVID. I love where this team's at. And Sean, I'm going to go in one more direction. To the people who say Ben Simmons doesn't do this, doesn't do that, doesn't do this, I'm going to give you 2 stats. He's becoming the best defender in the league. And
It's true.
How about that?
Sixers 3-point shooting when Ben Simmons is on the court, 40.7, second best in the NBA. Sixers 3-point shooting when Ben Simmons is off the court, 29%, worse than the NBA.
Wow.
The shit this dude does for the team, you don't see on a stat sheet. And he flirts with a triple-double almost every night.
Almost every night. I got to say, I mean.
What's up, triple-double? You're looking kind of sexy.
We saw this pop up twice, I think, this week. We were talking about this. And, it's a very telling stat for like you said, for those people who completely discredit everything that Ben Simmons does. That's huge, because like you said, it's the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Everyone goes, "Oh, it's the prototypical." Let me call up their sports radio station and just bitch about the fact that he didn't take a jump shot tonight.
Right.
If you watch him, the way he creates, the way he facilitates, the way he does things. But more importantly to me, I mean, that stat is incredible. But the most important thing to me is his defense, because he does, to go along with what he does do offensively, the defense is the thing that really got, like, his defensive game has completely improved over the last two and a half years.
Like, it's gotten better and better. It's gotten better and better every year he's been in the league. And like even last night, yes, Damian Lillard put up 30 points and they lost the game, right? Yes, they
lost 4 points, man.
Right. But there was a spot when the game was still on the line that Damian Lillard tried to put a shot up, and he couldn't even get a shot up because Ben Simmons was all over him.
Dude, the Stars produced that night. The Stars came up. I mean, Embiid and Simmons played hard. They missed a couple of key shots, especially going down the stretch. Other players had kind of defensive lapses, I guess, towards the end there. But I still have no qualms about this team, man. I still like this team. I still think they have a room for improvement. We can get that in a second. But just to go back, we are lucky. We are really lucky to watch what we're watching right now.
Yeah.
Ben, I know he doesn't get all the glory of the whole, being a big time scorer and all that stuff. And defense is always kind of overlooked, I guess, unfortunately. But for those who watch the game and can see that, and I didn't even know about that stat until this week, but I knew we know how valuable. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
They missed the game. They're 0-4 when he doesn't play this year.
0-5 now.
0-5. Yeah. But when this, shit. So was that their first loss as a starting 5?
Yeah.
So they're now 13-1.
Yeah.
When the 5 starters are in the lineup, 13-1. Good fucking loss.
And they lost. They lost by 4.
Good
on the road
trip. I know West Coast trip.
Right on the road, like across the country. So
good luck. this team's going to be tough to play.
Yes. And another thing that at home, and it's at a little over a full season, their last 43 games at home, they're 40-3.
Wow.
Like 40-3.
Jesus
Good luck.
Christ.
Good luck with this team if they get the number 1 seed.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Yeah,
What about Joel? He's having an all-star fucking season so far.
Yeah,
him and Ben both deserve to be an all-star game, but Embiid is, I think, right now when they did a thing on ESPN during the week, like a fake voting thing, who would be MVP, and Embiid was like 2.
Yeah.
Now I think
behind Jokic.
I think he's 3. Personally, I think it's LeBron, Jokic, and Embiid. Yeah.
Oh,
The numbers that Jokic is putting up is fucking. It's insane what he's putting up, dude. Like, as good as Embiid is, Jokic has been better.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. And LeBron at 30, what is he? 36 years old.
He's 36 years old, dude. He's averaging more minutes than I meant to send it and I forgot.
Yeah, he's averaging more minutes than like the young stars in the league, like Ben Simmons and guys like
Ben Simmons, Doncic, Jokic, Damon Lillard. He's 36 years old, and he's shown no signs of he might be better now than he was 5 years ago.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
All right, that's enough basketball.
Now, one more thing. Again, just want to give love on Valentine's Day to Tobias Harris. You've gotten beat up a little bit on this show, just a little bit.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
But we want to prove our love to you. We appreciate what you've been doing for this team, man. You're having a career season, and like Gary said, and that was good knowledge by Gary under Doc Rivers. It's good to see. Oh yeah, I requested a beer, but I opened another beer. I want to tell you what it was. So I'm drinking Wrench.
Wrench.
That's a good brewery, man.
Fucking look at that can.
Yeah, I drank that before.
Industrial Arts Brewing Company. It's a 7.1%. It's a Northeast India Pale Ale with notes of lush. Whatever. Fucking lush. Fuck, it's a lush. Lush and tropical zest. What the fuck is tropical zest? What is tropical zest? What is that?
That's a warm island song to ice your cold heart.
Of course, I can't find the fucking.
That can looks like. Look at this motherfucker. You drink this and you're gonna be drunk.
Yeah, I dare you, motherfucker.
Oh, listen to the fucking description on this fucking can. This unfiltered IPA is brewed with the ancient heirloom grain, spelt to cast a ripple of haze and dosed with a special yeast. Designed to liberate aromatic hop compounds in a celebration of our long, strange trip together.
That long, strange trip when you're seeing Spot, you're like, yeah, man, yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yo, Gary, what room's this going again?
Yeah, where's this going again?
All right, I found it.
You gotta be like that. I was just trying to say hi.
You are a lush, I can tell by looking at you.
There you go. Finally, I found it.
Oh,
Lush, that's a fucking makeup store my girl goes to.
I'm fucked up.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, man. Dave said it sounds like you guys are at the Bud store. So one last thing about Sixers.
The Bud store?
The Bud
store?
Bud store.
Oh, the Bud store. I'm sorry.
So the Sixers are apparently very interested in Nemanja Bjelica.
Nice try, Sean.
Say that fucking name, Sean.
They're interested in a forward from Sacramento.
Forward from Sacramento.
What's his name?
Bjelica. How's that? Veteran forward. He's
like something the Russian dog gets on their balls.
I was just going to say that.
Just under 40%. He's averaging beyond the arc, and he's a forward. He can add some length to that bench. He can add some shooting to that bench. We talked about. I know, adding some length.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Fuck you! I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
That's what the Sixers should be saying to Sacramento. Second round pick for. He's been out of your rotation for a month.
Yeah,
we'll take him. We'll take him off your hands, dude. He could be the new, like our new version of Ilyasova. Remember how Ilyasova was? He could be that type of player. And he was another big guy down in the front court, dude. That'd be a great move for them.
Yeah, I completely agree, Sean. I think the Sixers. It's not going to take much to get them. It seems like a perfect fit. Match made in heaven. And the Sixers definitely need something. They need another bench piece. Right. So I think Morey's an aggressive guy. He sees it. He's a smart guy. So I don't see this not happening. Like, I don't see a splash move with the Sixers.
No, but like they don't need a splash move.
No.
I know we talked about JJ Redick last week. I mean, I don't know if they signed JJ Redick. Is that a splash move? I don't think it's a splash move, but it's a complimentary piece that they could use off the bench. They need another shooter off the bench because Mike Scott isn't really doing it for me. Thibault obviously can give you.
He's not a shooter.
He's not a shooter. He's a defensive guy.
So you got Howard and Milton.
Milton.
But Milton's your best scorer off the bench right now. But
I'd rather Milton be a slasher than a shooter.
Yeah, but Lou Williams and fucking
Lou Williams is another guy. Lou Williams, both from the Clippers.
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
They're both available now. The price tag for either one of them is going to be a little higher, but
wasn't Williams here before?
Yeah, the Sixers drafted him.
He was in our G League for 2 years, I think.
Yeah, and he's won Sixth Player of the Year 4 times,
something like that. Yeah.
He ain't the one that was under the Ben Franklin Bridge, is he?
No, that's Pokafor. That's is he in the league?
That's a good question. I don't know if Okafor's in the league anymore.
I know he was with the Nets.
That's a really good question. I gotta look that up.
Pokafor.
Let me see. Julio Okafor.
I was doing like 50 miles an hour. No, that's Embiid.
Who the fuck's Julio Okafor?
Julio Okafor?
Yeah, he plays for the Pistons.
Wow.
Jeez.
Talk about stealing money at this point.
Yep. You guys want to do some while you were drunk?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got to pee though.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do it while you're peeing.
I'm not drunk, man.
While you were drunk, you were peeing.
It's time to catch up on some things you may have missed.
Do you think a six-pack is acceptable?
While you were drunk.
I'm drunk and I love cats. What more do you need to know?
So while you were drunk, you may have missed these following stories.
Drunken pussy.
Fucking right in the pussy.
Aaron Rodgers won his third MVP in his career. Very impressive. Here's something you may not have known. Aaron Rodgers is only the second player all time to win 3 MVPs and to win only 1 Super Bowl. Can you name the other?
Tom Brady?
No, I just said 3 MVPs and 1 ring. Tom Brady won 7 rings.
Sorry, I'm drunk.
The fuck is...
I thought you said name another guy. That's all.
Jeez. I'm going to give a dead giveaway. He played for the same team.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is the other quarterback. 3 MVPs and 1 ring. That's insane to me. If Dave said Nick Foles. That's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. Comeback player of the year went to Mr. Alex Smith. I know
he deserves it.
Absolutely, fucking 100%. I mean, I got to tell you, man, if there's anybody,
I didn't think he was going to live.
Yeah, if there's anybody who deserves comeback player of the year, even if he played 1 snap this year,
absolutely,
it's
man.
Alex Smith. Alex Smith had 17 surgeries on his leg. He almost was amputated, and he almost died from the injury that he suffered 3 years ago. And he comes back and plays like he played like half the year. Crazy, man! It's absolutely crazy.
And played solid. He played solidly.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know? So 100%, I mean, good thoughts towards Alex Smith and his family and unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable that he was able to accomplish what he was able to. Look, dude, if you almost died at work, and you had to go through surgeries and you put your family through hell, what would your family say? Like, go ahead, go back to work. Like, if you're like, and you know that it can happen,
Like, my old
it can happen again. Like, say you were a guy who was working on a ladder, like a dangerous job. You're working on a ladder all the time, right? Like, and you fell off the ladder and you were like, you were in a coma for fucking 2 months and you almost died. And then you come out of it and your wife's like, go back to work.
My old lady would say the bills are backed up. You ready to go back to work?
What injury is this? I'm sorry.
My Alex Smith, comeback player of the year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anybody else. Let's see. You know what, Gary? I'm going to ask Ron. Aaron Rodgers won MVP. Not to backtrack for the listeners, but Aaron Rodgers won MVP. He's only one of 2 players to ever win 3 MVP awards and only 1 ring. Who was the other one?
3 MVP. Brett Favre.
Nailed it. Gary goes, Tom Brady.
Come on, bro.
I'm hammered.
Speaking of hammered, Leon Spinks, they hammered up that fucking ball.
His prostate gave out.
Yeah, he didn't shit. It just leaked out.
It just fuck it. His prostate just said fuck it.
Leon Spinks was a one-time champion of the world, heavyweight champion of the world. Leon Spinks would beat Muhammad Ali in 78, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, he won a gold medal for the U.S. Leon Spinks passed away.
That was Muhammad Ali's only loss.
Is that true? Muhammad Ali only lost once?
I believe so.
Sure, he didn't lose to.
Oh wait, no, he lost to Foreman, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost to Foreman.
Yeah.
He has a couple. 77, Mark said. Polsky says 1977. Yeah, how about that, man?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Leon Spinks, boxing legend. Dude, I tell you what, anyone who got in the fucking ring with Muhammad Ali, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
So 2 more for while you were drunk stories. Marty Schottenheimer.
Oh, man.
Marty Schottenheimer passed away. Complications with Alzheimer's, I think it was.
Yeah.
77 years old. Marty took his last Schottenheimer.
Wait, hold on. Marty Schottenheimer, Alzheimer's? I forget.
Yeah, it was Alzheimer's.
I forget. Is that
it was Alzheimer's.
Wait, hold on. Remind me again.
It was Alzheimer's.
Huh?
It was Alzheimer's.
Where's it at? Huh?
It was Alzheimer's.
See my wallet? You see my wallet?
It was Alzheimer's.
Because he's not chasing that glean anymore, is he?
It was Alzheimer's.
Where's my car keys?
It was Alzheimer's.
We're fucking.
Where's my car keys?
Wait, did you
It
just
was
say
Alzheimer's.
that? I'm trying to remember. Did you just say that? I don't remember.
It was Alzheimer's.
Dude,
it was Alzheimer's.
I fucked up.
That's what Gary's excuse is when he said Tom Brady. Gary, what's up with your eye? What the fuck was that?
What?
Your eye was stuck shut.
Yeah, what? What the fuck? Yeah, what's going on there? He looks like fucking Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Looks like fucking Sty Stallone over there.
Sty Stallone.
Gary, you start yelling Adrian, I'm fucking out.
One last while you were drunk story, guys. Britt Reed. I'm gonna grab a beer. I want you guys.
Why he was drunk?
I want you.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's a 5-year-old girl that's probably gonna die because of him. Like, and he's not gonna go to jail. He's not gonna do major time because of who his father is and how much money he has.
Do you think that works? Like Andy Reid has everything. He has the world by the fucking balls. And his kids are douchebags.
Like, you could have had your own personal driver. Like, you didn't even have to Uber. You could have just said you could have said
his one kid's a douchebag. The other one's fucking dead.
Right.
Well,
from drunk driving.
Yeah, because he's a douchebag.
He put his heroin overdose or something.
But still, like it's still.
That's the same thing.
He's still a douchebag.
We're the most insensitive fucks. You know that? We are so insensitive. No. Fuck Brett Reed. Fuck Brett Reed.
Yeah, like your brother died from being. I mean, I hate to be stupid because I've been there, but your brother died from fucking making terrible decisions.
Brian, you came to a point and realized, hey, this is enough.
Right. Like your brother died from making terrible decisions. And
so why wouldn't you say this is enough?
Right. Like, and you don't even have to Uber. Like, you could have your own personal driver where you pay him fucking $600 a week to take him wherever the fuck you want. Like,
he's an assistant coach for an NFL team. He had enough money to Uber somewhere. And instead, like you said, there's two girls who are in the hospital, and the one's in. I guess she's still. I'm assuming she's still in the hospital.
I seen something earlier when because the Chiefs have cut ties with him. The Chiefs,
immediately after the game because the contract ended. You're gone. See,
right. So the headline said he's son of NFL coach, unemployed because such as. But the 5-year-old girl, it looks like she's going to die.
What the fuck, man? That's.
I mean, I'll tell you a story compared to that. Yesterday, there's a car accident on Roosevelt Boulevard.
All right, okay? Gary, I was gonna mention this, Gary.
A 3-week-old baby dead. You know why? Because her mother had her in her fucking lap while she's driving instead of a fucking car seat.
Yep.
3 weeks old and she's fucking dead.
And not only is that like you're playing with the boulevard. The boulevard is the worst.
Hold on, fuck this fucking. How did you do fucking?
What the fuck?
Why would you have a fucking infant in your lap?
You're kidding me.
But it's not even that like you're going on the boulevard. The boulevard is the worst fucking driving creation on the face of the fucking planet. Don't give me the Beltway.
It's a shit show to begin with.
Right. So like
so for those who don't know, we have people that listen and aren't from the Philadelphia area. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Was it 8? 8 lanes?
6.
It's 6 lanes?
Yeah.
And it goes 33 miles.
No.
It's 6 lanes, dude.
It's more
the outer drive is 3 lanes, the inner drive is 3 on both sides.
Right, so it's a
total
total
way.
12.
It's 6 lanes each
way.
All
right, so it's a total of 12. I'm sorry.
It's a total of 12 lanes.
So it's 12 lanes.
36 miles.
And it's divided by concrete interiors. It's a mess. There's what do you want to call them? The cutouts. You can switch from the inner lane to the outer lane, and it alternates. And certain lanes, certain roads that you can turn off of, you have to go you have to cut all the way over to make a left. It's a nightmare. If you don't know the road and you don't know where to get off, it's bad.
Particularly like if I go from here to Gary's house, and I will not take this exit when I'm going to Gary's house. If you take the one exit, you have to cross across 6 lanes to make the fucking left-hand turn.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And you have about a half a mile to get to the left-hand turn.
Polsky just summed it up perfectly. The Roosevelt Boulevard, pretzel sales, hookers, and drug dealers.
That's
fucking dude, it's horrible. And two of the top 5 most dangerous intersections in America are on the boulevard. It's Red Line, and it's what's the other one?
I think it's
Grant in the Boulevard and Red Line in the Boulevard are 2 of the top 5 most dangerous intersections in America.
But there's also another one on it where it goes. It's down by Adams Ave. Down by Adams Ave, where it can go in like 12 different directions.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I was thinking where Cotman, where it ducks underneath too.
But you see, I personally think that the boulevard, the inner drive of it, should be all express.
It should be
right. Like cut off the turning lanes, cut off the merging lanes.
Right.
And now this couple, they also had a 3-month-old baby, and he was all strapped in, and he's fine.
Or 3-year-old, you mean?
Yeah, that was the other because it was 2 mothers with their kids in the car.
Fuck, man. God damn. Well, that mother should be. First of all,
like 3 weeks old. That means that fucking pussy's still sore from having that baby. Like your shit ain't even.
She should be coming out, and I hope she makes it, and then gets thrown in fucking jail for killing her kid. Like she killed the kid.
Yep.
Fuck, man.
Polsky said this 3-year-old should have been driving it. He probably would have known better to put the kid in a fucking car seat. Assholes. All right, enough of that, guys. I'm what the fuck. Now I'm all fucking. Actually, how are her tits?
Play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch. You old sailor, you.
So also,
someone played the motorboat. That's how she had the 3-week-old.
Also, last night, around the corner from here, a fucking U-Haul truck gets pulled over. A guy jumps out of it. He says, I don't want nothing to do with this. There's a dead body in the back of the fucking U-Haul truck. So they open up the U-Haul truck. All that's there in the trash bag is a torso. So now they're doing the investigation, right? They find all the other body parts, but all the other body parts they find are deep fried. He's deep fried.
Deep fried. That sounds like Freshly.com to me.
He deep fried him and tried it fucking so they couldn't identify him. But he gets out of the U-Haul to the cops like, I don't want no more to do with this.
Yeah, no more to do with this. Put your hands behind your back, you stupid fuck.
Well, wait a minute. Now, this guy's got a rap sheet 4 miles long. And Krasner kept letting him out. It's
always the way, right?
Yep.
I mean, we've heard my Steven Swallow cocksucker a fucking few months ago. The fucking idiots running the city.
Yeah.
Like, this don't happen in this part of the city.
No.
It just don't happen.
Popeye's chicken, that's not chicken.
Dave Peterson.
DoorDash.
Popeye chicken and then Peterson DoorDash. And you get your meal in fucking less than 5 minutes.
Yo, you forgot my fucking fries.
You get a bag of fingers.
Oh, God.
You're like, well, the ring's still on this one. Fuck. It's got fingernails and shit.
It took 5 days to thaw out the body.
Like, what the fuck? You're all drunk. You're looking at it like this is a French fry.
What do you guess for fucking buying a mink coat?
Oh, what the fuck? God damn it.
What? Take that fucking coat out of here. What?
I don't want these fucking fur coats. The fuck am I gonna do with fur coats?
It's the middle of the summer. What am I gonna do with fucking fur coats? You know what? I'm gonna take them back. No, don't take them back.
You bought a fucking pink Cadillac. What the fuck's the matter with you?
It's in my mother's name.
Didn't I tell you low profile? Didn't I tell you fucking low profile? Get the fuck out of here.
It's in my mother's name. It's in my mother's name.
Ah,
you getting wise with me? You getting wise with me?
They found Johnny Carbone frozen solid. Took him 3 days to It took him 3 days to pull him out.
This dude throws off frozen and shit.
I thought you said take it to make the coffee to go. Make the coffee to go.
Oh God! Oh man!
I thought you said chop him up. Chop him up.
Chop him up. Not here. You want me to let him drive?
Why do we let him drive? Gotta let it warm up. Warm up. Get the fuck out of here.
All the fucking quotes going on. I want my money, fucking Morty.
You got money for that fucking commercial? Give me my fucking money.
All right. So, a couple quick Phillies notes. First and foremost, this is actually good news. The Trucks headed to Clearwater, made it down. We are that much closer. To baseball coming back. And Clearwater, Florida. It's warm down there. Arizona tried to put a stop to it. Guess what? All the teams are showing up. Doesn't fucking matter. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Baseball's gonna happen. I think it's gonna start on time, man. Unless some crazy thing happens. But
right. Let's get through hockey first, man.
Baseball's gonna. We'll get to hockey too. But the Phillies made a couple moves too this week.
But I'm getting back to that, dude. Yeah. I love that day when the Trucks leave. It's the first sign that summer's coming.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even if you watch that on the news, even if you're watching on the news, you see the trucks leaving, you smell that diesel fuel.
Yeah, good, yeah.
That's not the first thing I think of, but I mean,
I
think of fucking Cracker Jacks and fucking funnel cakes, and
you smell that diesel fuel as they're leaving.
I hate that fucking smell.
And empty fucking stadiums.
And empty stadiums, yeah. Bunch of fucking the crack of the bat, nothing better. Oh, is this true? Odubel Herrera might be making his turn.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. He's probably going to.
I'll tell you what. Center field is one position that's still up for grabs, and I reached out to Roman Quinn, by the way, and tried to get him on the show last week to talk about things, and he never responded.
He's busy becoming that next stud fucking center fielder for the Phillies.
We're mediocre. We got no clout.
Yeah, well, hey, man, we had Brian Propp on the show, man. Brian Propp's a whole, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we had Brian Propp on the show, man. You guys need to show respect, man. He's like third all time in Florida scoring. Well, I guess he ain't come back on the show.
He doesn't even remember who we are.
You don't remember who he is. Fucking Brian Slop.
Brian, you better get a mop.
I'm not laughing at this. That's fucked up, dude. He's a nice dude, man. Brian's. I'm gonna get him on next week. I'm gonna get him on next week. Oh, you guys sound like a nice group of guys. Let me come on. Have we never had you on before, Brian? Oh, cool.
Brian Slop.
You motherfucker.
Damn. All right. Anyway. The Phillies brought back Brad Miller. Bamboo Brad Miller comes back. That's a good signing for them. An infielder, solid infielder who can hit a little bit. That's a good signing for them. I hope they're not getting nostalgic because this is different ownership and it's different manager. This isn't like, oh, we're just going to sign Brad Miller because he gave Gabe Kapler 3 weeks of fucking winning baseball. I think it's a good signing for them. They needed another utility guy off the bench. So, and also they signed Brandon Kinsler, and Kinsler was a closer from Miami. He had 12 saves in an abbreviated season last year for Miami.
Solid signings.
He turned down guaranteed money from Miami
to come here.
Bryce Harper and him are apparently good friends. And they're not really good friends. They know each other through Vegas or something. They've met each other in Vegas, and Bryce Harper is apparently in his ear and telling him to come here.
Well, Harper's from Vegas. That's where he's born and raised. So
okay, so maybe that's where.
But Harper was also vocal getting Riamoto signed.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm telling you, that signing paid dividends for this team, man. It really did.
It's like that. They signed him, and then it was like, oh, all right, I'm willing to come here. You had pitchers that were like, maybe they wanted to come here, but they didn't know the catcher situation. That's huge for a pitcher wanting to come here. JT to Realmuto is the kind of catcher that can make you better.
Even Didi, like quietly, that's great stuff.
Oh, speaking of Vegas, guys, and Dave Peterson just said that. Oh, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. By the way, 2 sites just opened deposits up for the Raiders, Eagles, Vegas trip.
Man, would I absolutely love to fucking do that. I can't swing it. I would love to do that.
I got to see exactly how much it is because you're going to also need $1,000 in spending money. So
it's going to be over $1,000 to go. But
yeah,
I'm in. I've been eyeing this trip off for 3 fucking years to go back.
Yeah, I think I can make it work.
I mean, gotta make it happen, man. All right. Anyway, besides that, so good moves for the Phillies, and to go with Archie Bradley. I tell you what, Kinsler and Archie, dude. All of a sudden, that back end of the bullpen looks solid.
Yeah, as the pessimist in me, I got to see it before I believe it. There's been quite a few years where you're like, all right, yeah, they're going to be better. This is the year. I do like the moves they made. They didn't make no splashes except for JT.
But it's solid moves.
Yeah, like it's solid. It's solid pitching moves. They're trying to address every need that they have. Again, it's another topic, but the problem with that, when you do it through free agency in baseball, it doesn't seem like it really ever works.
But are they different than what they were last year?
They are. I believe they are, but I still believe that they're at best the best team in the division.
Well, you said fourth last week.
I said they'd be lucky to finish third.
Yeah, so the projections came out? They're picking the Braves to finish last. I'm like,
yeah.
With Ozuna and those guys, like what? I don't see that. But look, I'm gonna say this. Since we've been doing the show, I think there's only been one time I said the Phillies had a shot to make the playoffs, and that was last year with a new manager, with Bryce Harper second year and an abbreviated season. I thought they could skim by and maybe sneak in as that second wild card team. I wasn't far off. Technically speaking, they got eliminated a couple days before the end of the season.
Yeah, they lost the series in, I think it was Miami.
And their chances were slim anyway, but still, that was the only time since we've been doing the show that I thought they had a chance to make the playoffs. I'm pretty confident in saying that. I don't think I've ever picked them to do much better than that. Man, you're probably not wrong. Third place is probably their peak.
Especially the Mets are about to fucking trade for Chris Bryant,
and the Mets have improved.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, the Mets are giving up a lot of their farm.
They are.
So maybe they can go for it this year, maybe next year, and then the Mets are gonna be hurting. Some of these contracts. They're lucky they didn't sign Trevor Bauer, because I think getting Bauer was gonna really hurt them big time.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the moves they made, the Mets have made some decent moves. They solidified that infield a little bit. Pitching has always been a great thing for the Mets. They somehow they know
what they're doing with pitching, man.
Yeah, they still got that kid from Toronto on that team. They him, so so they'll be all right. But all right, I think it's time for Through the Beers. Gary, you ready? All right. We haven't done this in a while. I think this is the first time of the year.
Might be. Yeah.
Back in 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor and said, "Thank you." In 1985, Michael Jackson was black. At some point in history, everyone's mother once took a cream pie. This is Corner Pub Sports, taking you through moments in history with Through the Beers.
Take it away, Gary.
In 1949, Joe DiMaggio becomes the first $100,000 a year baseball player for the Yankees.
Wow, that was 49. Wow.
Well, you got to remember, bro, fucking pack of cigarettes then was 30 cents.
Not even. But yeah, I'm just saying.
1973, first time the Rangers shut out the Islanders, 6-0. In 1976, Toronto's Darryl Sutter sets NHL record with 10 points in the Maple Leafs' 11-4 win over Boston.
Jesus.
6 goals and 4 assists.
Oh my God.
Who was that, Carol? What was it?
Darryl Sutter.
Darryl Sutter. Wow.
In 1988, Michael Jordan is the MVP of the 38th NBA All-Star Game, and East beats the West 138-133.
Remember that, dude? That's when the All-Star games were so much fun.
Yeah.
In 1988, the 40th NHL All-Star Game, Wayne Gretzky of the Kings is the MVP. Also becomes the MVP in 1983 when he played for who?
Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton.
Yeah. In 1992, Mike Tyson testifies in his rape trial.
Jesus.
I
didn't do it, man.
It wasn't me. That bitch got what she deserved.
Sometimes no means yes. In 2010, the Saints beat the Colts in Super Bowl. Drew Brees is the MVP.
Christ, that was 2010.
That was a good Super Bowl. That's
That's
the
a great game.
only fucking ring that Drew Brees ever had.
In 1936, the first ever NFL draft, Chicago University's Jay Berwanger is drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles.
By the way, who was the big part of the NFL? Who got the NFL draft off the ground?
I don't know that answer.
Bell, Buddy Bell, for the
Really?
Yep. He was the person that was the main cog in getting the drafts going.
Interesting.
So thank Philadelphia for the NFL draft.
Even though they're not good at it.
In 1963, AFL's Dallas Texans become the Kansas City Chiefs. In 1991, fraud-ass Roger Clemens signs a record $5,380,250 per year contract.
Wow.
In 1994, Jack Nicholson uses a golf club to attack a car.
Wait, Jack Nicholas or Jack Nicholas? Let me get this car. Wait until they get.
No, it wasn't Jack Nicholson, guy.
Wait until they.
No, it wasn't. It was Jack Nicholas.
Wait until they get a load of me.
Whatever. Who gives a fuck? 1943. National League Baseball seeks buyer for the Philadelphia Phillies because the owner, Jerry Nugent, falls behind on several months of payments.
Hey, Gary, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Instead of all my foe, you know, it's a favorite of mine.
1951. The St. Louis Browns signed pitcher
What?
Satchel Paige.
Satchel.
Satchel.
Who was then 45 years old. In 1971, Satchel Paige becomes the first Negro League player elected to Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow, how about that?
In 2006, Al Michael joins NBC's Sunday Night Football broadcast with John Madden.
2006?
2006.
I don't know.
Dude.
John Madden still doing it in 2006.
Yeah. I know he did the first few years of Sunday Night Football.
1992, Mike Tyson is convicted of raping Desiree Washington in Indiana.
That's it.
She's another one that don't understand and no means yes.
Anyone fucked with Tyson in prison?
That's it. Stinks.
Do you think anybody fucked with?
You get your dick and your pussy all covered in shit.
Nobody was fucking with Tyson.
Would you?
Wait a minute.
No fucking way, dude.
In 1997,
I just see Tyson. I'm just gonna suck your dick.
O.J. Simpson jury reaches a $25 million in punitive damages decision.
Motherfucker. God damn. You know, that fucking cracker bitch took me to fucking court. Oh, she didn't take you to court. She's fucking dead.
Oh, dude.
Damn.
Glove didn't fit. Why do I got to pay $25 million?
Glove didn't fit. What do you mean they got to pay this motherfucking family? If I had done it, I'm going to write a book about that. If I had done it, this is how I would have done it. I would have left a drop of blood in my Bronco. I would just shot. You know what I would have done? I just would have shot her and called it a night, and I would have went home. And if that dumbass motherfucking waiter just came to the door, I would have slashed his motherfucking throat and then fucking left him in fucking. OJ, I thought this is what if you had done it, that not would have actually happened. Well,
Can I finish?
I'm just saying.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
In 2002, the 51st NBA All-Star MVP was who?
In
2002.
In 2002?
2002 was it wasn't Allen Iverson.
That was the first.
Another guy from Pennsylvania.
Kobe Bryant.
You got it.
Wait. Hold on, Gary. I'm sorry. In 2002, that was the first NBA All-Star MVP.
51st.
Oh, all right.
I'm sorry, I was talking over Gary. I'm OJ Simpson. I'm just chiming in. I still have a little I still have some shit to cut through here. I'm just saying, you motherfuckers.
Check me out on Twitter.
Check me out on Twitter at the real OJ32.
Yo, that's fucked up. You killed the best TV mom ever.
You leave Nicole out of this. You leave her out of it. You listen to me, Gary. You listen to me, you fucking Sean Connery looking motherfucker. I'll cut you if you bring up my name during this segment again. Don't you ever fucking bring my name up again.
2 more facts.
Oh, you give me facts. I'll give you a fact.
I'll give you a scenario.
My fucking ass is innocent. Don't you scenario me, guy. Don't you know who I am? I'm fucking motherfucking OJ Simpson. I ran for 2,000 motherfucking yards playing for the Buffalo Bills. I rolled down the steps in the stadium in a wheelchair doing the Naked Gun movies.
Yo, remember when he got stuck under the bus? And then they got a phone call. Like, it's Nuremberg in Detroit. And Leslie Nielsen's like, what's he doing in Detroit?
I'm fucking OJ. I was head and shoulders above the rest. Don't you fucking dare fucking bring this up to me. I was in fucking Detroit making calls for the
I forgot about Head and Shoulders.
Nicole Simpson just needed to be aired out. In 1973, the Philadelphia.
He's still trying to finish this.
1973, the Philadelphia 76ers lose their 20th straight game.
Stupid ass motherfuckers.
1984, Wayne Gretzky has 11 shorthanded goals with the NHL record.
He scored 11 shorthanded goals. Jesus Christ.
The great one, dude.
Jesus Christ, he did that shit shorthanded? I should have watched my right when I slashed her throat.
11 shorthanded goals? God damn.
Imagine what he would have did full-handed.
He was a cherry picker.
She's lucky I didn't use my legs. You know how good my legs were.
I ran all over her.
I ran all over that motherfucker. I all ran up on that ass.
What else I got to do? I aired this pig out.
All right, let's move on.
I think OJ needs to be in the best of for this year. That's good. I love doing OJ. OJ is so easy to do too. He's so
fucking OJ.
Yeah, I was innocent as shit. I didn't do anything wrong. Yo, give me my motherfucking Heisman Trophy back. I'm gonna break in your fucking hotel room because I got no criminal record. What the fuck was he thinking, man? All right, Flyers.
He's thinking I'm OJ. I don't give a fuck.
You hand that motherfucking shit. Dude, I know that voice. I've heard it somewhere. Like, he fucking sees the mask.
Yo, did you ever see the movie fucking David Schwimmer plays his lawyer?
Yeah, I was not a fan.
Robert Kardashian. Yeah, that was what was it, like a 5-part series on ESPN?
Yeah, it
was actually really.
Think about it. So OJ breaks in the fucking hotel room with a mask over his face. You motherfucker, give my best friend AC Callen's Heisman back. wait a minute. AC Callen didn't win a Heisman. Fucking OJ Simpson. Motherfucker, give that fucking OJ before I slash your throat. Wait, I know that voice from those Hertz commercials.
He stole his shit back.
I know that voice. Motherfucker, you don't know this voice. Man, you give me that fucking Heisman. I'm going to fucking tie you up. And I'm going to run 2,000 yards away before you can know who this is. 2,000 yards. Didn't OJ run 2,000 yards away? Man, fuck you. Just give me that.
And you helped me load it into my white Bronco.
Wait, OJ had a white Bronco. Something doesn't add up here. The poor guy,
there's gloves in there. OJ had gloves. What's going on here?
Dude, he's like every bad fucking villain in Bond who gives away the plot. He's like, first I'm going to cut your balls off with this laser, and the second I'm going to run away, and I was trying to steal all that money. OJ, I know it's you. I can hear your voice. No, man, it ain't me. This ain't my fucking plan. I'm telling you, if I was OJ, if I had done it, I would have talked about it. I would have told you how it went down. What the fuck, man?
Yo, I remember it like yesterday, watching that fucking white Bronco on TV.
I'll never forget.
It was must-watch TV, man.
I'll never forget, man.
That's why he was acquitted, because it turned into a fucking social, racial fucking.
When that happened, right? I was, dude. I hand to God, this is the true story. Hand to God, I was playing in championship game in baseball. Baseball field's literally across the street from my house. Championship game in baseball, Little League baseball. We win the fucking title. We win it all. I look around. My parents aren't around. I go in the house. They're watching a fucking OJ Bronco chase. I'm like, the fuck? Like, I just want.
Sean, be honest.
For the first time in my life, I was a winner. The only time in my life I was a winner.
Be honest.
That motherfucker. Yeah.
Your dad is your coach. Had you in the locker room.
It wasn't. No, my dad was not a coach. My dad never stepped outside. Never stepped outside. All right. Moving on.
Don't cry, Sean. It's okay.
No, it's just, dude, that shit hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
That shit, Jalen, hurts.
You know, you guys fucking laid. You had a good dad. Your dad fucking.
It hurts. It hurts right here.
It hurts. It hurts right here. I can't find his legs.
That's not.
He's all over the place. I can't find his legs.
Yo, look, dude. He's dropping tears in his beer. Stop laughing at him.
I know. Fucked up, man.
I gotta take a piss.
My cry, fuck it. One tear in a bucket.
2 tears in a bucket.
Let's talk some Flyers. Ryan's repping the Giroux jersey.
Yes, sir.
Some Flyers real quick, and then we'll get the Corner Pop Hot Corner call of the show. But so the Flyers basically got an unplanned bye week. COVID struck, and at first you're thinking. So they played the Washington Capitals on national TV on Sunday before the Super Bowl. It was a great game. Flyers took it to Capitals despite being outshot by double. I mean, it was like 30.
Yeah, that's
36-17, which is an ongoing problem. You know, we had Jordan Hall see, look at this. Dave Peterson. Never knew my dad. I feel your pain. Dave, I knew I liked you, brother. I knew I liked you. One day when you have time, we'll go through our sob stories together.
Sean's going to create a new podcast for people who didn't have dads.
It's going to be called Dadless.
Dadless. Corner Pub Dad Problems. Corner Pub, my dad never loved me.
Corner Pub, I had to throw the football by myself.
You know how hard it is to throw a football and have to go get it and throw it back and then have to go get it and throw it back?
You know, I used to have to play in the backyard and throw the football to myself. You know, it happened. Anyway, all right. So.
The fuck, dude?
That's how I was always told I had soft hands. I knew how to toss it to myself and catch it and bring it in nicely.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, so anyway.
What a fucking jitbag.
All right, so the Flyers had it dude, like these dude. The fucking like all these guys. Oh my god, what the fuck? Everybody on the chat board. This sucks. What the fuck? Anyway, so the Flyers had an unplanned
virtual hug, Sean.
Unplanned bye week. No, that's all good. Dude, I can laugh about it, dude. I'm good.
Football on a bungee. It's like one of them, like you know that thing you buy that helps you swing the bat, and it just comes back around.
Yeah, it's swinging. I had it tied around a tree. It would.
So you were like Napoleon Dynamite playing that game by yourself.
I was Uncle Rico. Fucking with the camera, throwing the football.
Yeah,
I can throw this football over the mountains.
You remember when he hits him with the stake? He's like, it's like, he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Football on a bungee. That's the name of the show.
Yeah.
Football on a bungee. Football on a bungee cord. Thanks, Dad. That's the name of the episode.
Oh
my God!
Here's
what
the
fuck,
thing.
Dad.
Here's
you
the
couldn't
thing.
protect me from the coach.
Everybody who listens to the show early, like there's a lot.
They don't get this.
No, there's a lot more viewers. There's a lot more listeners. There are a few. Trust me. I know. I get texts like you guys are fucked up at the end of the show. So to get into the show, like there are a lot of viewers early, and they kind of tune. It was just I get it. Like that's the thing with everything. I get it. You can only tune in for so long, dude. We go 3 hours sometimes, but the end of the shows are where the fucking magic is.
That's the fucking love of being at a corner bar.
Dude, Mark's like, look, here you go.
No, the name of the show is.
What's this about? The guy afraid of the sun and beach warmers.
Never seen that. Never seen it.
You didn't see bench warmers?
No.
No. Well,
I was too busy starting.
No, John Herder. That's the same Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah. Anyway,
where'd you start? Where the fuck did you start? I didn't miss any of them games.
Wait, what's this? I missed that.
Right said he was on the bench. He was too busy starting.
Yeah.
I got to hear this.
I was starting with your mom.
Oh, she's your mom. You fucking jitbag.
Dude, Dave is so on fucking point with my childhood.
Heading the ball to yourself, not a fan.
Hey, dude. Dude, listen.
Oh, are we really going to go down this path?
So my cousin and I were really close, right? But there was a time where he lived in Florida. So, like, and I got to be honest. When I was a kid, a lot of my friends were girls. Like, I'm just saying, like, a lot of my friends were girls. So, like, none of the girls like sports. I remember sitting in the backyard, and I had a little yard, but it had a big, tall fence. And I used to think I was Mike Schmidt stepping up to the plate. And I used to toss the ball up to myself and hit it. And just go and get it and just keep doing it. And that was it, dude. Like 8 years old. That was I didn't play Little League until I was 11. So like that was what I did. I think Dave was in the same boat as I am. All right, enough of that. What the fuck? Dude, I'm starting to get fucking Brian, you all right?
It's a really sad story.
One toke over the line, sweet Jesus. One toke over the line, sweet Jesus.
Child.
Enough with your fucking reminiscing, Sean. Let's move on.
Dave's bringing back. Dave and I had the same fucking childhood. How old's Dave?
Fuck your sad childhood and fuck
Dave,
your
how old are you? We should have been best friends when we were kids.
He's like 30.
He's a little younger than me, huh? All right. Anyway, so Flyers postponed impromptu bye week, which is good, but it started off because the Devils had 19 players on COVID list, 19 players, and so the Flyers week was postponed. Well, it wasn't. The total week wasn't postponed, and then the Rangers game was postponed because the Flyers had players on COVID, and now names keep getting added to the list, and this is not good. This is not good.
Nope.
Giroux. It was Giroux and
the one it started with was Myers. He didn't play last Sunday because he tested positive.
Which Myers and Giroux. Braun was then added. Oscar Lindblom, which is a worry. That's a worry.
Yeah.
He was just added, and
Voracek.
Voracek, and someone else was just added too today. Lindblom, Voracek, someone else was just added. I'm blanking, but someone else decent.
I didn't hear about it today, so
yeah. So it's it's not not good, man. You got 6 or 7 players now.
I mean, these games might not be made up because what they're doing in the NHL this year, it's by percentage. So I mean, you could still have a lower percentage and still make it into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see these games getting made up.
I don't see.
Scott Lawton. Scott Lawton's the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's been a solid? He's been a solid fucking player for us.
Steven Stamkos. I mean, it's not a Flyer, but Steven Stamkos.
Oh, was he really?
Yep.
Yeah, it's it sucks, dude. It's an ongoing and it's crazy because hockey was actually one of the few that escaped unscathed. I mean, hockey did really well with the whole COVID thing. And
you got to remember, Sean, they were in Canada in a bubble.
They were in a bubble, yeah.
Now they're going to each other's fucking home ice. You know what I mean? This is going to happen.
But still, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing,
this happened. It happened in baseball last season.
Yeah, but there was reasons like when it happened with the Phillies and the Marlins were out partying in the previous city. So if all the players are doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're all being tested regularly, like how did it happen?
Right. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was out fucking maskless at a fucking strip club. And then all of a sudden he didn't play for 2 weeks. Well, gee, I wonder.
Well, wait a minute. There's also people that are doing everything they have to do and still get it. There is.
But then you go, oh, how did I get it? Oh, because so-and-so was working in the restaurant industry.
I'll tell you what, man. I check into my office once a fucking week, every week. And there's 25 people that check in there. I go in there, Sean. I'm the only one with a fucking mask on.
Polsky says the chicken wings, the strip club. Remember this chicken? That story was fucking great.
Yeah, that was
oh man,
that was Lou Williams in the bubble last year.
Yeah, the chicken wings.
Yes, he went to a strip club because he liked their chicken wings.
Yeah. That's why he went to the strip club.
But if you're going to the strip
club, Johnny Manziel came as those are some good fucking wings.
Yeah. But if you're going to the strip club to eat the buffet, man, you got a problem.
Yeah. To eat something else there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a problem if you're enjoying the buffet at the strip club.
Man.
Yeah, you got fucking vagina and fucking titty and fucking dripping all over the fucking wings.
Yeah, like if there's titty juice and fucking pussy juice and horny dudes, I'm not eating the buffet.
Fucking right in the pussy.
And you know what, dude?
Ooh, yeah. Flick that bean, yeah.
Strip clubs ain't what they used to be. These girls are on crack. They're going to strip to get their fucking drugs nowadays.
Before that, they were on Quaaludes. So
years ago they were doing it to pay for college. Now they
weren't. No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
I'm not sitting there talking. Dude, we talked about it 2 weeks ago on the Dave show. The girl standing six next to Dave at the strip club. What's your fucking story? I like you because she fucking knew. Like, yeah, I got no fucking story for you.
Yeah, show me your tits. I'll tell you my story.
Oh man. All right.
Yeah, I didn't know college universities accepted all $1 bills.
Yeah, you're a fucking pig. Your mom had made a mistake when she gave birth to you, and your dad don't give a shit about you. That's why you're fucking dancing on a pole.
But any chick that's dancing on the pole,
true.
That dad failed. Like you have one as a father of a daughter, you have one job: keep your daughter off the pole.
I'll fuck my daughter up. I'll drag her by her hair off the pole in front of everybody.
What did you do?
As I'm dragging her, I'm punching her.
What did your daughter text you tonight?
Huh?
What did your daughter text you tonight?
Oh, well, I was at work. She called me up. She's hysterical. I said, I'm giggling because she's laughing. I said, what's the matter? You remember, she's only 9 years old. She says, guess what, Daddy? I said, what? She said, I farted, and it really stinks. And she hung up.
I think you're safe there. I don't think she's putting her asshole in someone's face when she's older.
That was probably the first one in her life that really stunk.
Oh, dude.
It stinks.
Yeah.
All right, back to the Flyers. Ron Hextall. Ron Hextall is now the GM of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That becomes a problem for the Flyers.
I feel really bad.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this at all.
I saw that news and I'm like, look, you look at the Flyers and look at the success they're having. Look, Carter Hart, Travis Konechny, acquiring Braun, acquiring,
Oscar Lindbaum, Scott Lawton.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, you look at somebody.
He's hurt right now. Morgan Frost, Ivan Provorov.
These are the guys he drafted.
Making the trade, right? Didn't he make the trade for? No, that was before him, wasn't it? Traded Mike Richards.
But that was him. That was when he first came in. Yeah,
so Voracek.
He traded all the cancer out. He traded all the cancer out, and he
Voracek. That's him.
The only reason Ron Hextall's not still with the Flyers is because he was too patient. But building a team.
Wait a minute. When he was with the what was that, with the Kings he was with?
Yep.
They won a Stanley Cup under him.
They won 2.
They're right. They won 2.
All right, 2.
Yeah, like I'm saying, the only reason he's not with the Flyers is because he was too patient. He was just taking too long to bring them up.
They didn't want to wait.
That's the only reason he's not here. But building a team,
that's what
building a team. That's what he does, and he's very good at it.
I do not have a good feeling about this at all.
No.
Pittsburgh look at a team that was getting lost. Look. What's his face?
Crosby.
Crosby's getting older. Malkin's getting older. Those guys fade out. They're hurting franchise. And now all of a sudden you get someone who knows how to draft. Because you say what you want about Hextall, he knows talent. He's done a great job with the Flyers.
He builds winners.
He look, we have a team now here in Philadelphia that we look forward to. That go, we have a chance. You have good goaltending. You get hot in the playoffs. You have a fucking chance to win. He gave us a chance to win. It's not the Flyer way that was been the way for the last 40 fucking years.
Yep.
This team is different, and that's a scary thing.
So I'm going to throw this out there though, with Ron Hextall being there, and the shape that the Penguins, the direction it looks like they're going right now. Don't be surprised he trades their pieces, man.
Well, 100% that's what he's going to do. He's got to make room for other acquisitions.
Malkin and Crosby might be going.
Who's that other fucking guy that's been there a long time? That's on their team. There's another guy.
Letang?
Yeah.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Pretty sure he is. I would definitely be interested in Letang. Definitely.
You wouldn't be interested in fucking Crosby or Malkin?
I think that's a pipe dream. There's no way they trade them in division. No way. And what would you have to give up? You're going to have to give up a serious young piece for them. I'm not doing that. If the Flyers were right on the cusp and ready to win, like I'd think about giving them Nolan Patrick for a fucking Malkin.
Dude, Crosby's only 33 though.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 33. He's been playing for fucking 17 years. He's been in the league for 16 years. He's 33 years old.
I mean, he came in the league. What was he, 18?
He was 17.
He was 17. Holy fuck. Oh, my God.
He's got another 5-6 years in him, dude.
He's got longer than that.
I don't know, dude. There's a lot of hockey on his legs, dude.
Dude, yeah, but he missed
he's a guy that can play into his 40s, Ryan.
He missed 2 years, too.
Yeah, because of the migraine thing.
He'll play at least until he's 38, at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 5-6 years.
All right, okay, that's true. Yeah,
how old's Malkin?
Math is not my strong subject.
Your dad never showed you?
No. No, he counted me. I only learned how to count by pumps. 1, 2, 3.
You got it all over my shirt.
That's all I know.
Malkin is 30.
1, 2, 3, 4. That asshole, I'm going to tour.
Malkin's only 34.
Okay.
Really? Dang.
I don't think it happens this year, Rye. I don't.
No. I just think that, like, if they go another year or two of being mediocre-ish,
this fucking beer is good.
Which one you got? What was you drinking?
The IPA.
Get you up. Wrench.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, this is good stuff too.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think we got to wrap up the show. I think we got to do Corner Pub Popcorn. I think we did our shit tonight.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, you're not leaving after the show though this time.
All right.
Fucking every time we fucking end the show, Gary's fucking screen goes blank and we hang out because you always hang out after the show for another fucking 6 hours.
No, I can't do that.
No,
Yeah,
that's
you can.
6 hours. But Gary fucking gone. I'm like, oh, I guess Gary's left.
Like he doesn't even say later. We say, all right, thanks guys, thanks for listening.
Thanks
Then
everybody.
he's going.
Gary leaves. I'm like, oh, I guess we're not doing an after show thing. You know.
Sorry.
All right.
Man.
So let's do Corner Pub Popcorn and let's call it a show. So thanks, Mark. Mark said cool. Gary Houdini. He said killer show, guys. So last week, who's got popcorn this week?
Me.
Ryan.
Didn't you have it last week though?
I did. No, I did, but like I just figured
you did because I remember we were talking about one of my favorite.
Enter the Dragon.
Damn, dude, I didn't know. Okay, you didn't have to do it 2 weeks in a row, but that's cool. All right, so
it's not like it's hard.
It's actually fun, dude. I love this, dude. I actually
else.
I enjoy the movie thing, like because like I think we've seen more movies than we know music, especially as we get newer.
Can we do the segment?
All right, I'll shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, number 1974, number 10, Murder on the Orient Express.
Ooh.
I have a double VHS cassette sitting on my nightstand right now of that movie.
Nice. Number 9, The Longest Yard.
The original
great fucking movie
with fucking Burt Reynolds.
I think I broke his fucking neck.
I did break his fucking
neck.
I
told you I broke his fucking neck.
That's a great movie, and the remake is good too. I don't care what anyone says.
No, I agree.
The remake's good too.
Number 8, The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams. It was an Addams Family spinoff.
What?
No, it's not an Addams Family spinoff, dude. That's Grizzly Adams. He's out living out in the woods with the fucking bears and shit, dude.
Oh.
That's yo. I'm telling you what. I tell you what. As a kid, the first
he said it's an Addams Family spinoff.
You never heard of fucking Grizzly Adams, dude?
Dude, Grizzly Adams, the fucking he was an adventurer,
guy,
a naturalist.
The
fuck, the life in the day of Pugsley Adams.
I was thinking of the fucking
my sister
dad.
tortures me all day.
What's the dad's name?
Gomez.
Oh, it's Gomez. Adams.
I'll tell you what, Ryan. When you get a chance, watch the fucking Adventures of Grizzly Adams.
All right.
Fuck, that was
don't fucking wait me. Don't shut me out. You
fucking classic. Holy God!
Yeah, dude. How do you fuck that up?
You're not living that down, dude. That was classic.
How do you fuck that up?
Oh my God, that was fucking great.
Number 7.
That's the bear trap going off.
Yeah.
Number 7, Airport 1975.
Fucking spinoff.
I don't know that one.
Where the fuck?
All right, here we go. Number 6. Arguably the greatest movie ever made, in my opinion. The Godfather 2.
I gotta tell you, this year is really good. There's only one movie, the last movie you just said. I don't know. You know my opinion on this. The Godfather 2 is great. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say greatest of all time.
In my opinion, it's arguably the greatest movie ever made.
Goodfellas is my number 1. So
I was going to say that, Sean.
Hey,
I didn't say fucking Grizzly Adams was a spinoff.
You did say Tom Brady only had one fucking.
That was 2 hours ago. What the fuck's the matter with you?
Oh. Wait, hold on. The one before. What was the? Hold on, Ryan. What was the one before
Airport 1975.
Airport 1975.
There. So see, I Thank you, Dave.
Said Leslie Nielsen. Leslie
And he
Nielsen.
said Leslie. He said Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, but he's thinking of airplane.
There you go. Thanks, Dave.
All right, what's next?
Number 5.
What the fuck?
Earthquake.
What
Yeah,
the
look
fuck
at your
is
eye.
What's going on here tonight?
Number 5, Earthquake.
He was a good wrestler. He broke Hulk Hogan's leg in like fucking WrestleMania 5.
What's number 4, y'all?
Young Frankenstein.
Dude.
Nah, come on, man. Come on, man.
What a movie. Actually, you know, motherfucker, I'm gonna watch that tomorrow. Watch that tomorrow.
Hold on, you might because you might want to watch number 1 from the same dude.
All right, hold on. Dave Peterson said, "Same fucking thing with airport number 1970."
Well, he's not wrong.
Dude, Young Frankenstein is a fucking great movie.
Yes.
That's old. That's fucking old.
Agreed.
Dude, Gene Wilder, rest in peace. You're amazing.
He's genius.
No, it's not
number 3, The Trial of Billy Jack.
I don't know that. So it's only 2 out of the top 10 you've named. I don't know.
No, me neither. Number 2, Towering Inferno.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know that one either.
I'm not familiar with that.
Check it out.
What is it?
Gary knows that one. So 2 or 3 out of top 10. Cool.
It's about a giant hotel building. It's on fire, and they're trying to get the people out.
No, man, I've seen it. I've seen Backdraft. I've seen Rescue Me. I'm good.
I'm telling you, it's good.
No, I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm good.
Number one in 1974.
It ain't no Poseidon adventure, but it's good.
In 1974, number 1.
That fat pig drowns when she's trying to swim.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
Mel Brooks?
Yes.
Mel Brooks, 2 top 5 movies in 1970.
Up yours.
Oh, dude.
Up yours.
Dude, what a movie. Dude, how about Mel Brooks, man?
Yes.
Breaking it out, 1974. Oh, that's great, dude. Oh, you know what? Tomorrow might be tomorrow's gonna be a Mel Brooks day in my house.
Brian, what year was History of the World made?
History of the World? Oh, well, that's not Mel Brooks, dude.
Yes,
no,
it
it's
is.
not. No,
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's
no, it's not.
That's John Cleese and those guys.
Yeah, that's the Monty Python. That's not Mel Brooks.
No, it's Mel Brooks.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, Gar.
Yes, it is.
All right,
yes, it is. Mel Brooks, History of the World, Part 1.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I apologize.
I'm sorry, Gar.
I'm sorry, Gary. I thought that was a Monty Python only.
Yeah, so did I.
What year was it?
1981.
Okay, so we're not there yet. So calm your tits.
I'm sorry.
Apologize, Gar.
Fucking jump in your head.
Number 15 was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wow.
The original, obviously.
So 1974, that became the highest grossing horror movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And low budget horror movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was broken later in 1978, and we'll get to that.
There's really not much else. Number 32, The Three Musketeers.
Shitty candy bar, shitty movie.
All right, tell this guy Dave to go fuck himself.
He took that shit right off of IMDb. Release date, June 12, 1981. Mel Brooks. I had no idea Mel Brooks.
Nah, me neither. That's completely I'm baffled. I really didn't think.
With it, History of the World, he goes, never mind. I'm not going to say it. The jig is up.
It's good to be the king.
Dude, when he said that, I fucking fell on the floor for 10 minutes laughing.
Hump death.
You know why he said it? Because the black guy got a boner. The fuck, man. The jig is up. Like, what the fuck?
No, it was a big fucking dick hard under his fucking loincloth.
I paused the movie. I can't. I fucking lost it. I lost for 10 minutes. My stomach hurt so bad. I'm like, this motherfucker just got away with that. I had no idea.
Oh, I just
kudos to you guys. The more you know, the more you know.
I just smoked a joint with all my friends, and that happened.
I had no idea that Mel Brooks did that movie.
Nah, man, I'm kind of like I feel stupid. Man, but the servant waits while the master baits.
Yeah.
The jig is up.
Oh my god, that fucking movie! I had no idea. I thought that was the Monty Python guys.
Oh, piss boy!
So Gar.
Oh, piss
I'm
boy!
sure.
Where is the piss boy?
Piss boy!
Piss boy!
Piss boy!
Piss boy!
Oh man! What a fucking guys!
I'm watching that tomorrow. I'm watching that tomorrow.
What do you do for a living? I carry a line of piss.
Guys, what a fucking show! We want to.
You go that way. You go that way, and I will walk in a circle.
We want to thank Mark Drumheller. Follow
what the fuck?
X_Drumheller on Twitter. Mark of Fox Sports, the Gambler Network. Great insight, and it was. Wait, hold on. Dave Peterson said, "Hold on." Dave Peterson said that this show at the Holiday on have. Polsky said, "Great show, guys. We thank you guys so much for tuning in." So this song's by Alstorm. It's called "Drink," and we did that tonight. I still have some more beers to drink because this fucking week sucked, and we're not going to go into that. But yeah,
all right.
We hope we provided you guys with a couple hours of entertainment and a couple hours to kind of give yourselves some a little bit of a break and from reality. And we're getting there, America, and around the world. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yes,
we're
sir.
getting close.
By the time we get to June or so, man, we're gonna be starting to get back to this shit, man.
They're talking Pennsylvania in April. They're talking Pennsylvania.
Sean, it really looks like our concert in August is on, dude.
I hope so, brother. I hope so. So yeah, we thank you guys for listening and tuning in and hanging out with us and as we do our bullshit that we call a podcast. So as Ryan looks like fucking Conan from fucking WCW.
Viva la raza!
That's fucking 23 years that is brought out. Dave, thank you. Yeah, you too, man.
I wasn't Conan, you fucking jitbag. I was another spaz.
Yeah, it was. It was Conan. He always wore the jersey.
Arriba la raza!
Arriba la raza!
I thought that was Eddie the Guerrero.
Nah, he never wore a fucking hat. He just killed his family.
Yeah, well.
Then had a heart attack in the ring.
He didn't kill his family.
Yeah, he did.
No, that was Chris Benoit.
That was Chris Benoit.
No, Eddie Guerrero just killed himself.
Yeah. No, he died in the ring.
No, he didn't.
Like, not in the ring, but that's where it started.
He
had a heart
attack.
Right, but it started in the ring. He had a heart attack in the ring.
Whatever.
I thought he. Hold on a minute.
He ate too many fucking burritos.
I gotta look it up now.
Like, he didn't die in the ring, but that's
he died from heart disease in a hotel room.
Right, but that's where it all started. He had a heart attack.
He had a heart attack. Yeah, Chris Benoit.
Chris
Benoit killed
murdered his family.
And then he killed his family. Owen Hart killed his family.
And Chris Benoit took that literal.
Oh, that was you doing it. I thought that was a fucking video I just played. I was trying to mute the fucking mic. It sounded like fucking what was that? The cow and me, myself, and Irene when they fucking tried to strangle.
He just put 8 bullets in a prize cow's head.
He stuck his nose in the nostrils.
Yo, they trying to move it. And the cow's like,
the cow's like,
all right, man, let's end this fucking show. You fucking jerk offs.
Whoa.
Dude, when I saw them in the theater, I was the only one going, ah! I was the only one laughing. Everyone's like, what the fuck? The cow just died. I'm like, more meat for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa. Just because I rock doesn't mean I'm made out of stone.
Little extra cheese on the taco. We need a price check on Vagisil.
Yo, right, yeah. I guess old hanky boy wasn't enough for you.
You stuck it up your own ass. Right. You see you guys next week.
Irene, why am I paying like I was up having sex all night?
Monster 7.
Oh, that seems like old hanky boy had pulled a fast one.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
Brian, did you see the Happy Time Murders yet?
Yeah, I seen it in the movies.
Oh.
The fucking puppets coming all over the place.
It wouldn't stop. It was like fucking Zoe string.
And then they're all snorting.
You got it all over my shirt.
All right, guys, enough. Guys, next week we're going to plus quiz next Friday. As Mike would say, penis out.
Penis out.
Thank you, guys.
Ball back.
Oh, my God.